the National League Championship Series, where the Cubs have a 2-games-to-1 lead in this best-of-7 LCS. Alongside Steve Lyons and Al Leiter, I'm Thom Brennaman. And Steve, you look at tonight's pitching matchup, we would begin with Cubs starter Matt Clement. At times, he can dominate opponents. In many, many other games this season, he's lucky to get out of the 5th inning.
And lately, that's the Matt Clement that the Cubs have seen. This guy has such electric stuff. He won 14 games during the regular season. He has the potential to win 20 and be the ace of any staff out there. He's got great movement on his fastball, a nasty slider. Everything is set up by throwing strikes with that fastball. If he just relaxes and pitches, he can be devastating.
Well, Clement did not pitch well in his only start during the division series against the Atlanta Braves. The same can be said about tonight's Marlins starter in the Giants series, Dontrell Willis. Al, you've pitched in so many of these big postseason games. Dontrell Willis does have 2 games, one as a starter, one in relief, under his belt, but clearly the biggest game of his career tonight. What would you say to him about this start?
Well, I would say to not worry about what he's done in the past and just really focus on these pitches tonight. It absolutely means everything. Obviously, being down by 1 game, he's got to go out and be himself. What he was able to show many times during the season, which is being aggressive and pound the zone. You're going to see a lot of fastballs with him and getting ahead. He would certainly like to show the Chicago organization what they lost and what they're missing.
Yeah, bear in mind, he was drafted, was Dontrell Willis, by the Chicago Cubs in the 2000 draft. He was traded to the Marlins by the man he opposes on the mound tonight, Matt Clement. We'll have Game 4 coming up shortly from here in Miami. Jeannie, back to you.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. And we'll be keeping our eyes on the center fielders this evening.
Absolutely, Jeannie. Kenny Lofton has been great for the Cubs, especially in wins. Hit .327 since he joined Chicago. Don't forget about Corey Patterson, who was their leading guy offensively before he got hurt. Juan Pierre, of course, has been huge for the Florida Marlins, but the on-base percentage right now is not where it should be for him. That is the key to the Marlin offense, getting him off base.
All right, those are the numbers. Let's watch the guys work.
Kenny Lofton's got it going on. Last night, of course, going the other way on an outside pitch right there. Gets it going in the 11th inning, shoots it into left field, gets on base, scores all the way from first on a hit-and-run single in the gap. It actually turned out to be a triple by Doug Glanville. Kenny Lofton doing defensive plays, making it all happen. He's done a great job. How about the counterpart, Juan Pierre? Look at the speed. Now, a good base runner from the left side, an above-average runner, gets down the line in about 3.9 to 4.0. Look at the speed of Juan Pierre, 3.2 down the line. That's how he puts pressure on the opposition. Take a look at the stolen base last night, third base. I mean, there is no play there. This is the catalyst. This is the key to their offense, Juan Pierre.
This also helps the cause. Fast guys, fast grass. It's the prescription athletic turf.
We talked about it last night. Conine could not cut off what would have been a routine single. That would have been first and third, but certainly wouldn't have been a triple and a run in.
And Simon says he's having a pretty good
double switch. We talked about it last night. Comes up with a double switch. A big 2-run home run to put the Cubs ahead at the time. He's done a great job. How about the Pirates that have come over? Randall Simon, Aramis Ramirez, and Kenny Lofton done a great job for the Cubs.
Yeah, not too bad. By the way, the plan was for Ron Santo to join the Cubs at the World Series. The Cubs are trying to hold up their end of the bargain, but Santo's plans have changed. Doctors have delayed surgery to remove his bladder. The belief is he's not strong enough to withstand surgery, so he's not necessarily present and accounted for there when they retired his number the final day of the regular season. But he is obviously on the minds of every single Cub on the field, in the front office, and the jersey hanging in the dugout.
Good luck, Ron. This guy's a great guy. I know him. He's super. He's Mr. Cub. I mean, he belongs in the Hall of Fame also.
Nothing but good thoughts his way. All season long, Fox Sports and Sprint have been interactive. During tonight's game, you'll have the chance to make your voice heard with Sprint Virtual Manager. Use your PCS Vision phone from Sprint or log on to foxsports.com to vote. Still ahead, it's all aboard the D-Train. The Cub relocated into the wild card pen. Like Maddox, the fish wants to prove he's the one that got away.
Let's go! Tomorrow on America's #1 pregame show, the Cowboys' top guns talk about Bill Parcells' impact in Big D. You might be surprised with what they're saying. Plus, which player is the biggest surprise in the NFL? It's not who you think. Fox NFL Sunday, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific.
The baseball playoffs are brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards.
Ever noticed that local news seems a little rushed? Every story kind of chopped up, cut into tidbits, leaving you empty and wanting more. The way I see it, you deserve a closer look, and I hope to bring that to you.
What did I get myself into?
Closer Look is about people.
So you think it's easy being an FBI agent?
Issues. It makes for an explosive debate on a sore subject and examining every possible angle.
Anybody in there?
So you'll not only see what happened, you'll understand why.
Take a closer look with Mark Zapelza on Fox News Chicago. Well, look who it is. Oh, yeah. I see you. Come on, baby. That's it. Speed up. Yeah, you come to Papa. You come right here. Give me some lip service. Yeah, that's right, baby. Plant one right here. Whoa, not so fast. Whoa, what a kisser.
The irresistible Accord from Honda.
Ah, playing hard to get, are you?
ATA proudly introduces More. ATA has added more flights to a dozen cities, plus new service to Ixtapa, Mexico, and now 14 nonstops to the New York area every business day.
For over 50 years, Jack Benion's philosophy has remained the same. Make it right for the gambler. Jack Benion's Horseshoe Casino Hammond. In one word, legendary.
Last season, that 70 show sent everybody reeling.
I married Fez!
What?
I think you're having a heart attack.
Open your eyes, he's having an arm attack. This fall, are you reeling in the yeast? The season premiere brings even more surprises. Who will Jackie finally choose?
Want to see something hot? Watch me drink raw eggs.
You're allergic to eggs.
My eyes feel tight. Do I look okay?
Holy God! Will Red ever recover?
My heart. That's gonna come in handy.
Next time you better see a bright light and some dead relatives.
And how will Fez handle married life?
Your wife's on your honeymoon? Another guy.
Carlos is just like a chaperone. He, son of a...
The season premiere of That 70 Show, Wednesday, October 29th on Fox.
21 years ago, it was just beginning. Dusty Baker's wife attended the baby shower. Tonight, Dusty could be a part of the coming out party as the all-grown-up Dontrell Willis takes the hill for the Marlins. His funky delivery is a flash of baseball past, but make no mistake, he is the Marlins' future.
The D-train K's the side.
He pitches with a swagger, doesn't he? Wow, that's a piece of cheese. He is one impressive young pitcher.
Dontrell Willis celebrates a one-hitter.
It's a dream come true, and this is one of those things where you never know if you're going to come back. So you just want to enjoy your time here and just soak it all in. I just try to take everything for a grain of salt just because as fast as I've grown in the baseball ranking, you know, you could fall just as fast. So, you know, you just have to appreciate each day that you come out here. I'm the kind of guy that always wants to play, you know. I'll take the ball no matter what scenario it is.
It's this positive attitude combined with an all-business focus that's launched Willis to a status as a pitching phenom. All of it is rooted in his upbringing in a single-parent household in Alameda, California.
She's always smiling, you know. She's my idol. She's a foreman now, so she doesn't have to go out there and have to do hands-on work. That's a big accomplishment for her because she spent 10-some-odd years, you know, grinding the iron out. So, you know, something to remind me that, you know, no matter how hard times get, you know, I could be out there, you know, hitting the iron, so to speak.
Joyce Harris gets the credit for developing her son's work ethic, but the longtime club softball player can't be credited with Dontrell's funky delivery. It's a move Willis perfected as a kid, like strikeout with friends.
Like my neighbor, he started throwing submarine, and I just started kicking my leg up real high, and so far, so good.
The delivery we're talking about, Jeannie, we're talking about right here, the high leg kick. I mean, a lot of deception right there. Hides the ball extremely well. Very, very tough to pick up, especially on left-handed hitters. Got a good fastball in the 90s, a good slider as well. Playing fast pitch, strikeout, whatever you want to call it with his buddies growing up in the Bay Area. Matt Clement, a sinker slider pitcher. Good movement right there on the two-seam fastball. He hung a few sliders in his one start the other day, but he's got to pitch much better than this right here. Out over the plate with the fastball, that's not going to get it done. This guy, ironically, as we talked about, was traded for Dontrell Willis.
Yeah,
as Matt Clement said, what did he say, Jeannie?
Well, just, yeah, Matt Clement said, hey, guess who got the better end of this deal? Florida.
Exactly. That's quite a compliment. Matt Clement, a big start for him. A bigger one right here for Dontrell Willis, a youngster. A lot of pressure on him, but I have a feeling he's going to come up big. He has no fear. He showed that all season long.
All right, also showing no fear today would be Roger Clemens and his reaction to everything that happened on the field at Fenway. Grady Little just checking in at Fenway, some post-game comments. He finally got to see the tape of Manny Ramirez.
Manny felt that way after looking at it on the video. I don't think it was that close.
Absolutely right. It takes a big manager to say that. A good comment right there by Grady Little, because the ball was not at his head. It was over the plate. It was up. And I understand the reaction. I mean, you expect Roger Clemens to go back up inside, but he's not going to get kicked out of this ballgame. I think this actually helped Roger Clemens because he got better. He got stronger, especially seeing Don Zimmer go down. I think that fired the Yankees up. I think it hurt the Red Sox today.
I was going to say even in the long haul maybe, because they woke the sleeping giants. The Yankees have been looking for something to rally around, and now it's Don Zimmer and what happened on the field
Tim
today.
McCarver and Joe Buck talked about that. The Yankees were ready to roll. The Red Sox seem to be more relaxed, although it was a good battle till the end. Be a big battle tomorrow.
Yeah, we got to roll as well because we've got to get to you out to the ball game. Trading Places is taking on all new meeting. Enjoy the game.
Monday, October 20th, a sexy American cowboy with a fake American fortune is going to take the women of Europe for a little ride.
He's estimated to be worth about $80 million.
Would Fox lie to a group of innocent foreign women who've never heard of Joe Millionaire? Oui.
Now to the best part, he's rich.
The next Joe Millionaire, an international affair. Monday, October 20th on Fox.
Families.
District Attorney Thomas Rome vowing...
Noted adult entertainment mogul Larry Goldman.
Driven by ambition.
Why does it matter who our parents are?
Divided.
His father is the district attorney.
By forbidden love.
I want you. Let's take him down.
From executive producer Jerry Bruckheimer.
Well, can you imagine the press gets a hold of this?
Comes a provocative new series.
Tell your son to keep his filthy hands off my daughter.
Skin premieres Monday, October 20th on Fox.
You were under with Salazar for 6 months. I know what they did to you. I didn't lose a year of my life to arrest some drug dealer. Are we clear?
Concerned about you, Jack. Things you did to get me here. It'll never be the same.
On October 28th.
Someone close to Salazar is demanding his release. If we don't comply, he's threatening to initiate an outbreak of a very deadly virus.
This kid's walking around with a bag of cocaine that's got the virus in it. We need to find him and stop him from putting it into circulation.
Chase, we got a runner!
The first wave of attack will be terror.
The damage to this country would be catastrophic.
The last line of defense will be him.
Just do it now!
Kiefer Sutherland, 24. The season premiere, Tuesday, October 28th on Fox. Presented without commercial interruption by the next Ford F-150.
Does this look like sailing to you? Heroin's worth $250,000.
A merciless drug lord.
We won't operate on your slaves anymore.
A deadly ultimatum.
If you don't, I'm gonna take this hand back to Colombia with me.
Nip Tuck, all new next week, only on FX.
A crowd of better than 65,000 once again on hand at Pro Players Stadium in Miami for Game 4 of this National League Championship Series, where in 11 innings last night, the Cubs came away with a 1-run win and lead this best-of-7 series 2-1 over the Florida Marlins. Hi again, everybody. I'm Thom Brennaman, welcoming you to playoff baseball here on Fox. When this series began, we've talked a great deal and we knew a great deal about the outstanding pitching of the Chicago Cubs. Steve Lyons, what we did not talk about and what we did not know is that they would swing the bats away. They have swung the bats in the first 3 games of this series. They've scored 25 runs so far.
Yeah, I think someone forgot to tell the Chicago Cubs that they're not the 1927 Yankees, but that's the way they're swinging the bat. They're getting it done up and down the lineup, hitting 320 for the series. They were about a 260 hitting team during the regular season, averaging 8 runs a game. Kenny Lofton setting the table up top. Guys through the middle of the order hitting the ball out of the park. They have 8 home runs in the series, and guys coming off the bench to do a great job and coming up with some big hits. Someone on that Florida Marlins staff needs to find a way to stop the bleeding.
Well, Mark Redmond did a pretty solid game as a Marlins starter here last night, and Al Leiter, now they're turning to the 21-year-old rookie sensation whom they got in a trade from the Cubs for Matt Clement and Antonio Alfonseca in Dontrell Willis.
And I love Dontrell Willis. This guy's got character. He's got charisma. He's brought primetime back to South Florida. He's got a nickname, the D-Train. This guy not only's got character and charisma, he's got a great arm and great stuff. I watched one of the most dominant games this year in June when he threw a one-hit shutout against the Mets. I am a little concerned. Unlike Redmond, he's a fastball pitcher. The Chicago lineup is a fastball hitting team. Could be a problem.
So he can't fall behind.
Don't fall behind.
All right, we'll see how it goes early on. The Cubs have scored in the first inning in each of the first 3 games of this series. Dontrell Willis against Matt Clement. The first pitch from South Florida coming up next on Fox.
Gina, check this out. I'm sitting next to your new boyfriend. Don't you just love your new boyfriend?
I do love him.
As long as you're happy.
Picture mail that talks from Sprint. At Sprint stores, choose from a wide selection of picture phones starting at $99.99. Share it when it happens.
It's always been our dream to run a bed and breakfast. Then I had to go on chemo, and it just drained me.
If you're on chemo and feel tired, you may be anemic.
We even talked about canceling our guests.
Talk to your doctor about Procrit for chemotherapy-related anemia in patients with most kinds of cancer. Procrit helps rebuild red blood cells, and more red blood cells can mean more strength.
Here come the medicines.
Procrit is proven and safe. In studies, only diarrhea and edema occurred more often with Procrit than placebo.
Here, there's no slowing down.
Let's see, I bought yellow pencils, yellow Post-it notes, yellow boxers. Yellow boxers.
$14.
Land courier, air courier, pedicure, reader.
$137.
2 printers, 2 scanners, 2 tutus.
$540. Keeping business expenses separate from personal expenses? Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Apply online for the MasterCard Business Card.
Annoying, isn't it? With AOL pop-up controls, you can block unwanted web pop-up ads with a single click. Life needs less clutter. Don't you think?
The League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by Sprint, proudly offering picture mail and PCS Vision picture phones. Buy America Online. Look for 9.0 Optimize coming this fall. By Procrit, EPO Eton Alpha for injection. And by MasterCard. There's some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Another beautiful night, another huge gathering at Pro Player Stadium in Miami. 65,115 here last night. Watch Dusty Baker's Chicago Cubs come away in 11 innings with a 5-4 win. Here's Dusty's lineup tonight. Brought to you by State Farm. Kenny Lofton in center field has had a marvelous series at the top of the batting order. Mark Resnick at second, Sammy in right. Moises Alou at left, Aramis Ramirez at third, Eric Karros again at first. A latter third of Alex Gonzalez, Damian Miller, and 14-game winner Matt Clement against the Marlins 14-game winner, rookie left-hander Dontrell Willis.
A lot of 14-game winners in this series, aren't there? This guy has to get ahead. He doesn't have to do it with his fastball, though. He has 3 pitches that he can throw for a strike. He's got that great changeup and a lot of poise under pressure. At least that's what the Marlins are looking for him today.
Ball 1 down low to Kenny Lofton. 8 hits and 15 at-bats in this series. And Dontrell immediately falling behind. 2 balls and no strikes.
Against left-handed pitching, Kenny Lofton usually just tries to slap the ball to the left side, and he's had a lot of success doing that in this series.
2-1. The Cubs scored 4 runs in the first inning of Game 1. They scored 2 runs in the first inning of Game 2. And they scored a run in the opening inning here last night. Slapped out of play, 2-2 to Lofton. Our broadcast is always available in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your television. 1-2.
As a hitter, Al, one of the reasons why you want to see Dontrelle Willis throw a lot of pitches is the fact that he's got that funky windup. It's hard for the hitter to pick up the ball. If he throws a lot of pitches, the more chance I have as a hitter to see that windup.
And he has walked Lofton to begin the ball game. Just a beautiful afternoon here in South Florida. Very warm at 82 degrees. The humidity up there at 72%, but a pleasant night.
Most stolen bases in the postseason history. Kenny Lofton second with 31. Shouldn't have to tell you who's number one. Ricky. Do we have to say his last name?
No reason. Ball one up and away. Resnick in a series, 4 hits and 14 at-bats with a couple of runs batted in. Now remember, after Lofton had the infield hit to reach last night to start the game, Dusty Baker had Mark Resnick move him along with a bunt.
Willis does not have a good pickoff move, combined with the high leg kick. Of course, the equalizer sits behind home plate. Pudge Rodriguez.
One and one to Resnick.
Here's all the legs and arm movement and everything else. Talking to the hitters in the National League, they say you can't look at all that. You have to pick a spot where his release point is and don't focus on all that other stuff. Very Valenzuela-esque.
Yeah, good luck. Throws a lot of knees and elbows at you.
Fastball a called strike on the outside corner, and Dontrelle ahead of Resnick. 1-2.
One of the things that does for you, and that was kind of that pitch previous to this last one was kind of his version of a slide step, but all that movement makes it difficult to read his move when you're trying to steal a base. Only 6 people tried all year.
And only 3 made it.
And Pudge Rodriguez is behind the dish.
Yeah.
I think that has more to do with it. He's about a 1.55 release point from the time the ball leaves his hand to home plate, which is below average. A good time is about 1.2, 1.3 with a catcher like Pudge, who's probably about a 1.75. What that all means is you add up those numbers and a good base runner, which is a green runner, which is Lofton, the only green runner in this lineup. It's pretty much a station-to-station, base-to-base lineup. This is the only guy in the lineup that has a chance of stealing on Pudge.
Resnick going on strikes. 1 away.
And of course, what you mean by a green runner is that guy has the green light. And there's the D train.
Blew him away. Fastball right down the middle. 2-2. Early in the game, talking to McKeon before, and he was saying that when Dontrelle seems to get in trouble, and it happens with a lot of pitchers when we're not getting people out, you lose a little confidence. And when you lose a little confidence, you think everybody can hit a fastball, so you start nibbling and changing speeds and throwing off-speed and fastball counts. Early in the game, he's saying, here, hit it.
Now Sammy. Fastball high and away. Sosa 5 hits and 13 at-bats in this league championship series. 2 of the 5 hits home runs with 5 runs batted in.
Al, would you be a little surprised if he says to Sammy, here, hit it?
Down the middle, I would. Just stay away there. Like we were talking in the series, and I guess the fan scouting for the Marlins, they want to see Sammy hit fastballs, and fastballs on the corner are hard to hit for anybody, including a Sammy Sosa.
2-0. Under the knees. Willis wanted the call, didn't get it from home plate umpire Mike Evans. 3-0. Sosa, going back to 98, played in 3 postseason games, and then his first 5 games this year without a home run. But in the LCS, red hot. Sosa here last night had 3 hits, was on base 4 times, and he's drawn a walk. Second of the inning issued by Dontrelle Willis. We told you Willis, a 21-year-old Oakland, California native, was drafted by the Chicago Cubs in the 8th round of the 2000 draft. And then last season, the trade was made, sending Willis along with Julian Tavares, Jose Cueto, and Ryan Jorgensen in exchange for Antonio Alfonseca and the man who opposes Dontrell Willis on the mound tonight, right-hander Matt Clement.
This is a guy that, even though Moises Alou has hit .382 in the postseason here, they have pitched him very, very well. When he's looking in, they pitched him away. When he's been looking away, they pitched him in. Unfortunately for a guy like Moises and how quick he is, you can't pitch him in all day long and think you can get away with it. Look at the swap between the Cubs and the Florida Marlins and what they've done.
And of course, those numbers for Willis all this season at the major league level. Clement just 2 games over 500 as a Cub. Alfonseca was a closer and lost his job.
In this situation, I would not think it would be a good idea to challenge Moises Alou on the inner half.
Willis missing and missing badly here in the opening inning. He's fallen behind yet another Cub hitter, 2-0. Wayne Rosenthal, the pitching coach, will come out.
Rosenthal's in his face a little bit, too. I love that. Al, what's he saying?
He's saying slow down. Let's stay aggressive. Of course, use your fastball, because everything's going to work off of his fastball. So he's trying to pep him up, but he doesn't need any pepping up. If anything, he needs to slow down a little bit. He has thrown every single pitch has been a fastball. We're up to 17 pitches. Very similar to what Beckett did in Game 1. Have to use all your pitches. If nothing else, even if you throw it in the dirt, you throw a curveball in the dirt or a changeup, you squirt it out and it's high, it's okay. It gets you back to feeling better about throwing a fastball. 17 fastballs in a row to a fastball hitting team. Not good.
Yeah, Dontrell Willis doesn't need to drink a cup of coffee before the game.
3-0.
Yeah, you say right here, is he getting wild? Is he erratic? No, you continue to have to throw the same pitch. Before you release, you think something bad's going to happen. So as a result, you're going to try to really hit that spot because you know Moises Alou's looking for a fastball.
2 on, 1 out. And Dontrell Willis here in the opening inning has walked the bases loaded.
This has nothing to do with his delivery or his mechanics or he's wild. It's a matter between his ears. Feeling good about what he's doing. Pudge ought to throw down a couple curveballs right here. I don't care if it's a second or third pitch and he's walked a few guys on fastballs. He's going to need his breaking ball. Throw it.
Well, that old saying in baseball, no brain, no headache. Sometimes the more you think, the more you get yourself in trouble.
First pitch, breaking ball that drops in there, a strike.
Get him in a positive count. He can feel good, expand a little bit. You got an aggressive hitter up here.
Swing and a miss. And Ramirez threw a fastball up, and Ramirez chased it.
And right by him.
Because he saw a 76-mile-an-hour fastball prior to that. The speed differentiation was 12, 14 miles an hour.
Popped up. And foul ground. Lowell getting a start tonight. Leans over, and it's out of play.
You know, you look at the motion of Dontrell Willis, and you think he's joking. Well, that's how he came up with it. He was playing a game of strikeout with a couple of his buddies when he was a kid. Everybody knows what strikeout is if you ever played the game of baseball. Tennis ball, a bat, 2 guys on a wall. Throw the ball as hard as you can at your buddy and see if you can strike him out. They were getting so good at hitting each other, he said, I have to come up with something different. Watch this. He said it really helped him hide the ball. His buddy couldn't hit it. And he figured, well, I might be able to get away with that for the rest of my life. And that's how his windup was born.
And already activity in the Marlin bullpen. Rick Helling starting to throw. Willis has walked the bases loaded here in the opening inning. 1 out.
That's a good story because any pitching coach who would get this kid young wouldn't teach him that delivery.
Yeah. And some of them would try to change it.
Line away.
I mean, when he goes into that whole herky-jerky Vita Bluish move, you can almost see him laughing. Hey, Ross was his buddy's name. I'm going to get you out this way. Check this out. You'll never be able to hit this.
In the air, hit well down a left field line. Conine at the wall, and that is a grand slam for Aramis Ramirez.
$65,000 fans down here. Can you hear the Cub fans? As a fastball, inner half. Ramirez knows if it stays fair, it's gone. Just trying to make sure that stays inside the foul pole. Everybody on the Cubs' bases right there. Very happy to see that thing stay fair.
The fourth consecutive game in this series, the Cubs have scored in the first inning. And Willis put himself in a huge jam by walking 3 of the first 4 batters before the long one off the bat of Ramirez, his second home run in this series.
He is not going to be able to keep throwing that fastball in the inner half of the plate. He's got to miss off the plate inside and then go slow away.
Taken outside there, Arqueros. Dontrell Willis, his first 17 big league starts, staggering numbers. He slumped through July and then into August, almost through the entire month of August, before really regrouping down the stretch when the Marlins needed him most. But those last 12 games, the numbers don't lie. Fly ball into short right field should be the second out, and it is.
Now, I love a guy that works fast, and everybody defensively loves to work behind a guy that works fast, but he's like, Willis is like in fast forward here. Gets the ball and throws it, gets the ball and throws it. He's got to be gassed right now.
Some of the scouting reports on him is that they tell opposing lineups to say he works fast, slow him down, step out a lot to disrupt his timing. But in this case, like you're saying, Psycho, when things are going poorly, this is a time to step off, walk back, and collect your thoughts.
And the Cub hitters want no part of stepping out. They're saying, you go ahead, throw it as many times as you like. We're liking the results of it right now.
The last grand slam we had in National League Championship Series play was 5 years ago today by the big cat Andres Galarraga with the Atlanta Braves. Pulled foul.
You know, just like when I answered the trivia questions that we have here, I know that you didn't know that. I know that as the stat master, Daddy Wags, giving you that.
You better believe it, pal. You better believe it.
Mark Wagner up here,
handling the stats,
the information
all season long and the postseason. Aramis Ramirez providing further shock to this Cub offense. Ramirez came over along with Kenny Lofton from the Pittsburgh Pirates on the 22nd of July, and the Cubs really took off thereafter. Strike 3 called to Gonzalez. And that'll end the inning, but the Cubs jump in front for the 4th straight game. 3 walks and a grand slam by Ramirez.
There's a feeling in my heart that I can't explain. Is this love? The look in your eyes I just can't explain. Is this love? If I lose myself I'm to blame. So tomorrow, will you feel the same? Is this love? Is this love? Is this love?
Care about your car, you want to keep it protected. No one understands that like your State Farm agent.
We live where you live.
That's why why more people insure their cars with State Farm than anyone else. Because we care about you the way you care about your car.
They said its off-road capabilities verged on overkill.
Tow rag.
They said others may be as quick, capable, and handle as sharply, but few can match it on all of the above.
Tow rag.
They said it was everything you could want in a luxury SUV, but for 20 grand less. In fact, the only thing the experts couldn't say was the name.
Touareg.
Introducing the Touareg, easily named Car and Driver's Best Luxury SUV for 2003.
I want to thank you guys for coming out. Oh, Jamie, why don't you tell us what's new in IT? Try to keep it short.
Oh, well, we just implemented DFS and a new SAN. And also, we enabled shadow copy for shared folders on our file servers. It enables users to get back lost documents on their own without calling IT. And it'll save us hundreds of thousands of dollars, which...
It'll do what?
With new Windows Server 2003, you can do more with less.
Automated system recovery.
Aramis Ramirez, the first Grand Slam in National League Championship Series play since 1998. He's given the Cubs a 4-0 lead. Now Jack McKeon's Marlins, they've come from behind in all 4 of their postseason wins this year. They're at it again. Their lineup brought to you by State Farm. Juan Pierre in center, Luis Castillo at second, Pudge Rodriguez behind the plate. Derek Lee at first, Miguel Cabrera in right field, his first start ever in right. Mike Lowell in the lineup for the first time in his series at third. A ladder third of Jeff Conine, Alex Gonzalez, and Dontrell Willis against 14-game winner and former Marlin Matt Clement.
There you see the numbers for Matt Clement. Scouting report for him. Everything moves on this guy. Tough to keep it in the strike zone. Fastball is going to set up everything else he throws. He must throw strikes. This guy has problems when he can't keep the ball in the strike zone.
Pierre 3 of 15 during the league championship series. Clement, 29 years old, born and raised, still makes his home in Butler, Pennsylvania. Bounce to the right side, base hit for Juan Pierre.
Yeah, the Florida Marlins just don't seem comfortable unless they're losing. They've come from behind in every win they've had. And they're trying to do it again right now. Clement does a pretty good job of holding runners. Only 6 guys have stolen against him in 11 attempts during the regular season. Pierre doesn't care.
Pierre running on the first pitch. Damian Miller's throw right on the money.
Yeah, we talk a lot about Pudge behind the dish, but this kid can throw the ball too. Great footwork. That's a good jump. Clement quick to the plate. But look at the throw by Miller. Catch it, drop the tag on the runner. See you later. Beautiful work right there by our camera crew. 65 stolen bases on the regular season. Not on that one.
He's now 1 out of 3 in stolen base attempts in this series is Juan Pierre. Now Luis Castillo, a ball and a strike, 3 of 12 in this league championship series for Castillo, who hit .314 during the regular year. Into right field, Sosa's there, quickly 2 away.
Psycho mentioned about not many people steal off him. Watch his leg kick. This is basically a slide step. His time to home plate is 1.13 on average. That's quick. Even a green runner runs about 3.5, 3.6 with a good throw. Most of the time they're going to be out. Dusty talking about how there's a lot of plays when you throw over. Step off, throw over, slide step, hold. These are moves that a pitcher can do to keep the runner close. Larry Rothschild doesn't like the slide step because it affects the pitcher's mechanics. Clement doesn't need a slide step. 1.13 is a slide step. Very difficult to steal off a guy with a 1.13.
Low and away to Pudge Rodriguez. Ball 1. Pudge 4 of 13 in the series with a home run and 6 runs batted in. He has had a spectacular postseason. through the division series and now the LCS. Rodriguez 10 hits and 30 at-bats with 12 runs batted in.
Clement had his problems on the road during the regular season, was much better at home. 4-7 on the road in 15 starts with an ERA of over 5.4. So for Marlin fans out there, this game could be far from over with.
Pudge thought it was ball 4. Instead, it's strike 1, says Mike Everett.
Ball's right down the middle. That tail, he's setting up on the outer part of the plate. All right, I'll give you inner half, Pudge.
No matter what, it was a strike.
Hitters.
Okay.
Lined into right field. Sosa's right there, and that's out of the Marlin opening inning. We go to the second. Florida in front. Trailing 4-0.
Ma'am, you may want to take cover. We've had some reports of wild animals in the area.
Ooh, my. Come on, Donnie.
Wild animals? Where?
Let's get out of here, lady.
The anniversary edition Dodge Caravan featuring a no extra charge rear seat video system.
Thanks, officer.
Keep up the good work.
Disney's The Lion King Special Edition on DVD and in Dodge Caravan. Starting at $18,800 after $2,500 cash allowance and $500 in DVD coupon.
What makes Wendy's new home-style chicken strips so delicious? The strips or the sauces?
Big, all-white meat strips. They're the key.
They developed the strips because of the sauces.
This chicken is so juicy, you can dip it in nothing.
Heartland Ranch, Deli Honey Mustard, or Spicy Southwest Chipotle. You call that nothing? They complete the package.
Did he just give you the complete the package line?
Those strips guys with their blonde hair and fancy suits.
Well, try Wendy's new home-style chicken strips and decide for yourself. It's better here.
Now through Monday, Zales is having a diamond sale with savings up to 60% and more throughout the entire store. Like this 8-carat bracelet, just $7.99. Our lowest price ever. Quantities are limited at Zales, the diamond store.
True to the game. True to his team. True to himself. True to the fans. Truly authentic. Look for this hologram on all Major League Baseball authenticated products and know a Deloitte & Touche representative assures its authenticity. Available from these fine companies.
It's the home of beer, football, dairy, and now Wednesday night comedy. Yes! This fall, Wisconsin is where the laughs live.
You're allergic to eggs.
Hey, pretty lady. Like what you see? That 70 Show, followed by Norm Macdonald in the premiere of the new series, A Minute with Stan Hooper.
Look, honey, it's your head made out of cheese.
Holy Lord. Wednesday nights, come for the laughs, stay for the cheese.
Join me? Don't smoke, sir.
Oh, it's string cheese.
I can't eat this. I'm lactose intolerant.
What's the worst that could happen?
Cardiac arrest. I could die, sir.
Come on, one little piece. A Minute with Stan Hooper, after that 70 Show, beginning Wednesday, October 29th on Fox.
From executive producer Jerry Bruckheimer.
Why does it matter who our parents are?
Comes a provocative new series.
I want you.
His father is the district attorney.
We open the top half of the second inning with the Cubs in front of the Marlins, 4-0. Dontrell Willis trying to get through an easy second inning. After having a dreadful first, he walked Lofton, got a strikeout of Grzelcyk, walked Sosa, walked Alou, got ahead of Ramirez 0-2. The count went to 2-2, and then Aramis hit a grand slam down the left field line. Both Pudge Rodriguez and Jack McKeon really giving it to home plate umpire Mike Everett in between innings. Damian Miller grounds it down to third, and Mike Lowell throws him out. Tonight's Sprint virtual manager question: who got the better end of the deal in the Clement Willis trade? And the three primary players involved tonight: would be Clement and Alfonseca wearing Cub uniforms. Dontrell for the Marlins. To answer, use your PCS Vision phone from Sprint or log on to foxsports.com, keyword MLB on Fox.
I already have pictures on my phone. I can't log in right now. I'm just checking out my daughter.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I've been away so long and forgot what she looked like, that little angel.
It's kind of a toss-up. They both did pretty well on that deal, didn't they?
Well, certainly the Marlins made the deal, as did the Cubs, for two very different reasons. The Cubs were trying to build a team to try and contend and compete right away. One hopper down to Derek Lee, and the pitcher Clement retired, 2 away. The Marlins were looking ahead to rebuild for the future, cutting payroll and trying to build a young pitching staff around a guy like Dontrell Willis.
Nothing against Matt Clement, but if Willis does what he did this year and improves with experience, you have to say the Marlins. This kid has who knows how many good years in front of him. Maybe great. And that's not a knock on Clement.
Strike one to Kenny Lofton, and now Lofton having something to say to Mike Everett.
I think there's no question that Matt Clement has not developed quite like they thought that he would, but he does have electric stuff as well. Here's the pitch to Lofton. That's not a bad pitch on the inside half either. Little tempers from both sides going early.
Good sharp slider there from Dontrell Willis. That's the best breaking ball he's thrown tonight.
It's the location of it more than anything else. Down and away, and a slider looks like a fastball out of the hand. There it is again.
And Lofton rolls over it. Dontrell beats Lofton to the bag. And it is an easy 1-2-3 inning for the 21-year-old left-hander. His team trails 4-0.
Make it safe. Make it useful. Make it strong. And then, make it beautiful.
Why are so many people coming to Lowe's for flooring?
We want wall-to-wall carpeting in the living room.
Lowe's introduces Mohawk Premier Living Carpets.
I love soft carpet.
But it's gotta last.
It's one of the softest, most durable carpets available.
And only Lowe's has it. We'll even measure, install, and haul your old carpet away. And Lowe's has low prices every day, guaranteed. That's our promise. Lowe's, improving home improvement.
Use your Lowe's card and pay nothing for 6 months on flooring purchases of $299 or more.
Unsurpassed engineering, unparalleled technology. It blows away the competition. Champion, Mach 3 Turbo Champion. It's the world's best shave. Gillette guarantees it. Now with a red-hot new look, nothing else even comes close. Test drive one today. Mach 3 Turbo Champion from Gillette. The best a man can get.
Your boss expects a report in 1 hour, but it's a gorgeous 74 degrees outside. So you handle it like a true professional. With a laptop powered by Centrino, Intel's mobile technology, you can work wirelessly in thousands of places, even Bryant Park, under your favorite tree. Intel Centrino mobile technology.
The League Championship Series on Fox, brought to you by State Farm, providing insurance and financial services like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. By Lowe's, where you'll find all your home improvement needs. Lowe's, improving home improvement. By Subway, good so you don't always have to be. Subway, eat fresh. And by Gillette Mach 3 Turbo, for the closest shave with less irritation, even against the grain. Beautiful night, big crowd at Pro Player Stadium in Miami. And the Cubs with a 4-0 lead as we open the bottom of the second inning. Derek Lee, Miguel Cabrera, and Mike Lowell coming up. And Lee drilled on the first pitch by Clement. And Clement does plenty of that and always has. In his only season with the Marlins in 2001, he led the National League in wild pitches and 5th in hit batsmen with 15.
running fastball in off the hip of Lee. Most hit batsmen since the year 2000. Kerry Wood and Clement are 1 and 3 on that list.
Now Miguel Cabrera, the 20-year-old Venezuelan, 6 hits and 14 at bats in his LCS with a pair of home runs.
You know, guys, if we keep seeing the tempers flying and hit batsmen and stuff, a Red Sox-Yankees game may break out here.
That was ugly. Swing and a miss. 1-1 on Cabrera. Now, Leiter, I know you spent a great deal of time with your former pitching coach, now the Cubs pitching coach, Larry Rothschild, getting his scouting report on the 29-year-old right-hander Matt Clement. Swung on and fouled back out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, Larry was talking about Matt Clement having 2 types of fastballs. He's primarily a sinking fastball, which is a 2-seamer that will run in, the very pitch that hit Derek Lee. He also throws a 4-seamer, which is across the seams that you'll see the ball run away. It's almost a cutter. He does throw a cutter. We'll be able to see the grips here. It's 2 moving fastballs, so you have 1 pitch, but they move two different directions.
Grounded to short, could be 2. There's 1, and that's a double play.
And that's exactly why you throw a 2-seam fastball, to get the ball to run down in the strike zone and hit the top half of it and get a ground ball.
This is a 2-seamer. If I were to throw the ball out of my hand here, the ball with the revolution going to home plate, there's 2 seams coming at you. This way's 4. Throwing off, there's 4 seams coming at home plate. This is the ball that he's going to throw on the outside part of the plate that's going to cut. This is the type of pitch, right-handed, is going to run into the right-handed batter. This is a sinker. 4-seamer, cross seam is a straighter one.
You can do it lefty. It's all right.
I'm in my right mind.
Most guys will cut the fastball differently. If they throw a 4-seamer, they're looking to straighten it out and get it to ride. You know, most guys do not throw a 4-seam fastball to try to get it cut. Is that correct?
Partially. 4-seamer, if anything, if I want anything movement on it, I want it to cut. I definitely don't want it to leak back. As a matter of fact, Woody threw one last night. Kerry Wood, 98 on the outside part of the plate. It was a 4-seamer, but it leaked back over the plate. Ran back over the plate. Acted like a 2-seamer. You don't want to throw a 2-seamer on that side of the plate. I shouldn't say that because Maddox and others do it, but generally hard throwers will power the ball through the outside corner and leave it out there. Yes.
2-seamers on the inside to a righty, 4-seamer to keep him honest on the outside part of the plate. 4-seamer on the outside part of the plate. If he's looking for a power strikeout, he'll go to that slider. If he's looking to make sure the guy swings and misses on a pitch that's going to break away from the strike zone.
It's a 4-seam grip here. I'm sorry.
And it stayed up and in.
And it ran. That's not good. That's exactly what Larry Rothschild was talking about. His 4-seamer sometimes runs back, and the 2-seamer cuts. It's the exact opposite of what you're trying to do. Let's see in the glove here. Well, it looked like a 4-seamer, but no, I take that back. That is a 2-seamer. That's a 2-seamer. Those 2 seams revolving at the hitter, he just left it up.
It's funny how wide, maybe he has big, huge hands, but how wide his grip is, even on the 2-seam fastball.
Now Jeff Conine, and there's a breaking ball in there for strike 1. Conine, 5 hits and 12 at bats in the LCS with a run batted in, has a double and a triple.
That's a good call by Damian Miller. He throws 4 pitches to Cabrera. Oh, I'm sorry, Lowell. Not even close. First pitch slider. Slows the delivery down. There's another one.
Back-to-back strikes.
And Niner right there is not looking for a slider. It's a little slower than the fastball, and it breaks down and away. That ball was right down the middle. Jeff Conine was definitely looking fastball there. Let's see here. That's a 2-seam grip. Way down. What Psycho was talking about, almost like a split. Slider.
And that had tremendous movement. And Clement puts away Conine on 3 pitches. We go to the third. 4-0. Cubs in front.
I received this wedding gift from my husband's aunt. But I don't need a monkey lamp. I was extremely torn. I didn't know whether I should just keep the lamp or return it and risk hurting her feelings. So I asked myself, what would Jared do?
I would return the lamp. She really just wants you to be happy. Then I'd get a red wine vinaigrette club.
So, where's the lamp?
The Red Wine Vinaigrette Club from Subway. Eat fresh.
The Home Depot is more than a store. This weekend, it's finishing the project you've been wanting to start. Right now at the Home Depot and Expo Design Center, make no payments and get no interest for 12 months on any purchase store-wide of $299 or more. Just use your Home Depot or Expo consumer credit card. You don't even need a coupon. Get that project done this long weekend, starting at the Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
Do you have the right truck?
Hi, black coffee to go.
Does your truck have better resale value than Ford and Dodge? A Silverado half-ton pickup does.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, is this your truck? What's it going for?
What do you mean, what's it going for?
Let me make you an offer.
It's not for sale.
What are you doing here? It's for sale.
It's not for sale.
Silverado, it's the right truck from Chevy.
This October, Fox is telling these beautiful European women that this $11,000 a year cowboy is worth $80 million in oil. We lied. Again.
And now to the best part, he's rich.
The next Joe Millionaire, an international affair. Monday, October 20th.
Cubs bat top half of the third inning with a 4-0 lead over Dontrell Willis and the Florida Marlins. Willis has only allowed 1 hit. Fly ball into right field, and Cabrera is there, 1 away. High above us tonight, aerial coverage of tonight's game and the surrounding Miami area provided by the Saturn Light Ship. Saturn and its retailers hope you're enjoying this National League Championship Series. And outside of that Game 2 blowout, I'm not sure you could ask for any more. We went 11 innings in Game 1 with the Cubs falling to the Marlins 9-8. 11 innings here last night. Cubs 5, Florida 4. Strike 1 to Sammy Sosa. We saw Cabrera make that play a moment ago out in right field. Tonight is his first start ever in right field. Minor league level, major league level. They put him out there for the final 3 innings of last night's game. Well, that's how much the 72-year-old manager of the Marlins, Jack McKeon, trusts this 20-year-old rookie.
And they're looking for more offense in the lineup. Get Lowell back in there. Third base, put Cabrera in right. Encarnacion has not been swinging the bat quite as well in this postseason as he did during the regular season. Conine feels more comfortable in left field than he does in right field. That's where Cabrera had played a lot before Conine came back to this club.
Breaking ball down and away. Sammy didn't chase it. 3-2. Fastball in, and Sosa has walked for the second time tonight.
Here's the pitch sequence to Sosa. He comes right at him with a fastball in. Sammy just eyeing him up, seeing the velocity. Curveball in the dirt. He's still trying to come in. Blew it by him. Elevated the height of it. Got it by him. Tried to go away. He babied the curveball instead of throwing it and finishing it. And then tried to come back inside again. Just missed.
Once again, it really looks like they're picking at it with the breaking pitches and trying to get Sammy out with fastballs. Didn't really try to throw any of those breaking pitches for strikes.
Ground ball finds a hole into left field off the bat of Moises Alou. And here come the Cubs again. A one-out walk to Sosa. It goes to second on a single by Moises Alou. 3 walks in the first inning, setting the table for Aramis Ramirez in that opening inning. You weren't with us 5 years ago today. Andres Galarraga, then of the Atlanta Braves, hit the last National League Championship Series grand slam until this.
Aramis Ramirez, this is at least the 3rd replay of that grand slam. He hopes we get to see it again and again and again.
For those that have been around the game of baseball for a long time, I think it's still puzzling to think that 2 teams in the same division make 2 major trades with one another during a regular season, which is exactly what took place between the Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates. The first trade, of course, brought Lofton and Aramis Ramirez from Pittsburgh to Chicago. They later went out and got Ramirez. And do you think those have been Pirate treasures? You tell me.
Well, it's amazing to see 1/3 of one club on a team that's in the playoffs. And yet when they were on that other team, they were nowhere near a playoff club when they all played for Pittsburgh. Little pieces of a puzzle coming to another club that really fit in well.
Where Simon came over after the deal for Ramirez and Lofton. Fouled out of play, 2-2.
Dontrelle realizing he can't get any further down 4-0. He's introducing his curveball much more. He threw 2 to Sammy, even though he walked him. He got behind a Ramirez, threw a curveball for a strike, another curveball. Ramirez is late on that fastball as a result of those 2 curveballs being around 76 miles an hour. He's pitching. He needs to do this.
Came back with a fastball down and in that Ramirez made contact with and fouled it off.
Pitcher's job is to obviously be able to locate, have movement and velocity. But your job is to try to offset the timing of the hitter. We see this series. You throw 100 miles an hour, they'll turn on.
Came back with a breaking ball there, and Ramirez way out in front of him.
So he was sped up twice. He threw 2 curveballs, then he was behind on the 1 fastball. He threw another fastball, fouled it off. Now he's out in front of the curveball as a result of seeing 90-91 fastball. That's offsetting the timing of the hitter. This is good sequence. He needs to do this.
The way the sequence is gone, then what do you do here? Another 2-2 pitch.
I'm throwing a curveball in the dirt. You have a free swinging hitter in Ramirez. You have another pitch to expand. You don't have to throw it in the zone. Fastball away. Fine. It was executed. It was a good pitch as far as location. When pitchers become predictable, hitters can sit on a pitch or an area. And up to this point, the Cubs hitters were just sitting on fastball.
Came with a breaking ball, and it's fouled out of play. But again, Ramirez way out in front.
First changeup. Perfect. He threw a changeup.
This is a guy that during the regular season threw a lot of changeups.
This will be the 9th pitch in this at bat. And it's a fastball high. In Dontrelle's first encounter with Ramirez, which of course the result was a grand slam, it was an 8-pitch at bat. So already 17 Dontrelle Willis pitches seen by Ramirez. Another foul on a 3-2 off-speed pitch.
Well, we haven't had a chance to see a lot of Dontrelle Willis during the regular season, but out of his stretch, and it's hard to determine what he does as compared to a lot of other pitchers because he's so much different with that quirky windup. But he comes set in his stretch, Al, and then he's very quick with his next movement to the plate, and that seems like he could really throw himself off.
Ground ball right side into right field, a base hit. They're going to wave around the runner. Here comes a throw to the plate. It is not in time. Gets away from Rodriguez. And on to second base with an RBI single goes Ramirez. He's knocked in all 5 Chicago runs tonight.
Pudge got blocked out on the runner Sosa. Just as Sosa was crossing the plate, he got blocked out. He didn't see the ball.
Doing a good job after all those pitches, just taking the ball the other way, not trying to do too much with it. The very fast infield, the turf here, it's almost like playing on artificial surface. Here comes the throw. Where's Dontrelle Willis? He's over here, not backing up the play. Willis trying to get there, but now the throw's coming from the other side of the field, so he should be going where he's going now. Realize he made a mistake. Now he goes to get the ball, lets Pudge go back to home. But that allows Ramirez to get to second base on the overthrow to home plate.
Jack McKeon out there having a lengthy chat with Dontrelle Willis. Jack told us, if you see me come out, and he's the only starting pitcher I've had to come out and visit on the mound this year without taking him out of a game. He said it's generally because I don't understand why he's nibbling around, and to get out there and start throwing more fastballs, McKeon going to stay with Dontrelle Willis.
This may be the opposite today, Tommy, because we've shown today that he's thrown a lot of fastballs. This reminds me very much so of the Josh Beckett start. Got in trouble, throwing a lot of fastballs, and what did he do? Tried to throw the ball harder instead of taking some off and mix in your breaking ball. We saw him do that in the second inning, but early on he got in trouble throwing too many fastballs, and in this inning, maybe the same thing.
He gave up a hit there to Ramirez, but I think it was a good at-bat for Willis. Even though the end result wasn't good, he pitched him well.
Strike called on the outside corner. Dontrelle has walked 4 batters in the game. All 4 have scored. Infield in for the Marlins. Eric Karros flying out to right his first time up. Fouled out of play, 0-2.
If you're the Marlins, you certainly hope that Dontrelle Willis can turn it around much the same way that Josh Beckett did. Made some adjustments. Started hitting corners and using all of his pitches.
In the air down the left field line, and it's out of play.
A great story Willis has been all season long, with the way he burst onto the scene. Raised by his mother, an iron worker. Welder. There she is, Joyce Harris. Dontrelle never met his father until this season. Met him in Denver before a series that they played there. His father didn't know that he was a pro baseball player, didn't know he was going to be an all-star that season. Said the meeting went well.
1-2 pitch. Fastball in. And how about the influence his mother had in the life of Dontrelle Willis growing up in the tough streets of Oakland, California? She made sure he was on the straight and narrow every second of every day. And if there was even a hint that he was going in the other direction, she would come down on him hard. Shoot swing, did he go? No.
She's got a welder in her hand. I'd listen to her too.
She worked on the Bay Bridge, worked on the Golden Gate Bridge. That's hard work, dangerous work.
Talks a lot about his mother and what she went through, and he said if she can do what she did, no reason why I can't be doing what I'm doing here.
And he has walked his 5th batter of the game. That's going to do it for Dontrelle Willis. His first postseason start. He lasted 5 innings, allowed 5 hits and 5 runs. Here tonight, 2+ and leaves trailing 5-0.
Gina, check this out. I'm sitting next to your new boyfriend. Don't you just love your new boyfriend?
I do love him.
As long as you're happy.
Pick
picture mail that talks from Sprint. At Sprint stores, choose from a wide selection of picture phones starting at $99.99. Share it when it happens.
I break for yard sales.
I break for animals.
I break for donuts.
Chocolate.
My grandkids.
Boys.
I break for little old ladies.
Bingo.
Leprechauns.
UFOs. I break for free oil changes.
Visit your local Midas mechanic now and get a free oil change with any Midas brake job, including installation of our lifetime guaranteed brake pads or shoes. That's free oil and filter with any new brakes.
I break for no apparent reason.
Standing on the corner, watching all the guys go by. Standing on the corner, giving all the guys the eye.
Old Navy Painter's Pants at a price that really turns heads, starting at just $20 for men.
Brother, you won't find a tougher pair of painters. Old Navy Painter's Pants go by.
On Saturday, November 1st, Disney presents the story of a man who became a legend by becoming a bear.
Don't call me that. Mr. Bear?
Brother Bear, rated G, in theaters, Saturday, November 1st.
Do you think the camera makes me look a little fat? I think it's your fat that makes you look fat.
Two families.
District Attorney Thomas Rome vowing...
Noted adult entertainment mogul Larry Goldman.
Driven by ambition.
Why does it matter who our parents are?
Divided
His father is the district attorney.
by forbidden love.
I want you. Let's take him down.
From executive producer Jerry Bruckheimer
Can you imagine the press gets a hold of this?
comes a provocative new series.
Tell your son to keep his filthy hands off my daughter.
Skin premieres Monday, October 20th on Fox.
Many of Dontrell Willis's teammates coming over to console him. He is such an enormously popular player, obviously with the fans, but very much so inside that clubhouse. Rick Helling will take over on the mound. We saw him in game 2 in relief. Went 3 innings, allowed 4 runs, gave up 2 home runs to Alex Gonzalez, and the first pitch to Alex Gonzalez in this at-bat, a run-scoring single into left field. They're still loaded with 1 out, and it is 6-0 Chicago.
It's amazing. It's hard not to like the attitude that Willis has. You know, he's just dying inside right now. Wanted to have a great performance in front of the home fans in a game that was almost as important to this Marlins team as last night's game was to the Cubs. Still had the great attitude when McKeon came out to get him. Ran off the field with his head up. Has kept his head up in the dugout ever since. Tremendous attitude on the kid.
Damian Miller grounded out to the third baseman Mike Lowell, his first time up. Dontrell's mother leaving her seat temporarily, but I'm sure like her son she'll be back rooting on the Florida Marlins. We're only in the 3rd inning. One and 2 to Miller. Helling, a former 20-game winner with the Texas Rangers, has had a great deal of postseason experience. The last couple of years has bounced around from Arizona last year, Baltimore earlier this year. He was in the Orioles rotation, then came here and pitched out of the Marlin bullpen and did a good job. Still 1 and 2 to Damian Miller.
You hate to knock a guy as into his team and a teammate at such a young age, but you know, in moments like this, they're down by a game and you expect so much from a young kid.
Strike 3 to Damian Miller, 2 away in the inning.
To mentally get it, and this is a mental grind much more than a physical grind, and if he is the teammate that everyone says he is, and I know he is, it hurts inside of him. And when your mind gets out of the box, which is all about just making pitches, and he's enthusiastic and the bench and a good clubhouse guy, your focus is a little off, and all it takes is to miss a few pitches to get behind, and you're behind, and then it just snowballs.
0-1 of the pitcher, Matt Clement, the 8th man to bat in the inning.
You know, you look at guys that really come up in big games and they're real quiet and they're ornery and they're in the clubhouse and don't talk to them, don't look at them, they hide. And it's all about getting the mind focused to hitting that glove. And that's all that matters.
Are you saying that the mental makeup of a guy like that may help you out a little bit in big game situations and being an outgoing type of personality like Willis is?
I'm saying you could turn it on and off. You could be the most fun-loving, biggest comedian, greatest guy in the world. But when it's click game time, in a moment like this, it's all about the mind understanding that the only thing matters is that glove in that area where he has to throw the ball through the zone.
He'll learn.
Absolutely. This is the learning process.
Bases loaded, 2 away. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes on Matt Clement. We talked a great deal in this series about, Curt Schilling and Randy Johnson. You pitched with Kevin Brown and played with Kevin. I mean, those guys, you don't get within 100 feet of them on game day.
Dave Stewart.
Sometimes the game before and the game after, too.
It all depends on the mood. Ground ball to the right side. That'll end the inning. Heck, Leiter hadn't pitched for a week. He was hard to be around a day or 2. Middle of the 3rd. 6-0 Cubs.
Standing on the corner, watching all the guys go by. Standing on the corner, giving all the guys the eye.
Old Navy painter's pants at a price that really turns heads, starting at just $20 for men.
Whether you won't find a tougher pair of painters, Old Navy painters' pants go by.
Coming October 13th on GoArmy.com.
Look at this beautiful bracelet. Get your credit cards out right now. It's $39.95. Don't miss out on this. They're telling me right now we have less than a dozen. Oh my goodness, we're down to our last 5. Ladies, get in the...
Welcome to my first home. Hi, I'm Jennifer, and today we're decorating Mario and Laura's new home. Let's check it out.
Life is full of choices. Using credit wisely is the first step toward owning a home. Call the Fannie Mae Foundation for a free guide to understanding your credit and a list of lenders and credit counselors.
I break for yard sales.
I break for animals.
I break for donuts.
Chocolate.
My grandkids.
Boys.
I break for little old ladies.
Bingo.
Leprechauns.
UFOs. I break for free oil changes. Visit your local Midas mechanic now and get a free oil change with any Midas brake job, including installation of our lifetime guaranteed brake pads or shoes. That's free oil and filter with any new brakes.
I break for no apparent reason.
It began last summer.
We want you to be a part of the family.
America loved it, and the critics agreed.
California.
Now, TV's new It Show is back.
I would never do anything to her, Marissa.
You're not going to get the chance because you're never going to see her again.
The OC, all new, Wednesday, October 29th on Fox.
Bottom of the 3rd inning. Cubs have knocked out Dontrell Willis. He allows all 6 runs. This took place in between innings with his catcher, Ivan Rodriguez.
Pudge is obviously saying a lot of positive things, nothing negative about what he did tonight or what he means to this team. It also means what Dontrell means to the whole team. You don't want this kid's psyche to be ruined, especially if it's his last start of the year.
Which, barring coming back on 3 days rest in a 7th game, it would be his last start of this year if the Marlins fall in this series. They trail 2-1. They trail here in game 4, 6-0. Alex Gonzalez, Rick Helen, and Juan Pierre in the Marlin 3rd. Gonzalez 2 of 10 in the series with a run batted in. Both of his hits came in a game here last night. We talked about Clement and the inconsistency he has had in his career, and certainly the numbers don't lie this year. A ball pulled foul. Consider this. In Clement's 14 wins this year, his earned run average was 1.60. In his 12 losses, his earned run average was 9.10.
Could be a little deceiving. He might have had 4 or 5 or 3 games where it was a 35.
2-2. Struck him out. Like to remind you, tomorrow, baseball's postseason continues at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, right here on Fox. Game 5 of this National League Championship Series between the Cubs and the Marlins. Then it's 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Game 4 of the American League Championship Series, the Yankees and Red Sox in Boston. Sports' biggest month of the year continues tomorrow, only on Fox. A number of very ugly incidents of that game today at Fenway Park in Boston. Both from the players, the coaches, and the fans.
Now here's one of the reasons why Gonzalez has not hit very well during this series. You talk about balance. You see him lunging way out in front of pitches. As Bill Robinson has said, that he's had trouble staying back on pitches. That slider down and away is a pitch that's very easy to lunge out after. That's what the guy's trying to get you to do. And when you're going to do it all the time, it just makes it easier for the pitcher to get you out.
Rick Helling, a ground ball at Alex Gonzalez, 2 away.
There is Robinson.
He had a solid big league career, part of the We Are Family, world champion Pittsburgh Pirate Club in 1979, led by the Hall of Famer Willie Stargell. Two down for Juan Pierre, who has the only Florida hit against Matt Clement. That led off the ball game. And on the very next pitch, Pierre tried to steal second base and was thrown out by the combination of Clement and Damian Miller.
Some people might say that, boy, you guys were down 4-0 already. What are you doing being that aggressive on the base? This is a guy that stole 65 bases during the season. He's running. Might be a little less aggressive now. I mean, you're not going to get back in this game unless you play aggressively. You cannot play timid baseball in this game and get back in it.
High hopper. Ramirez has to battle the lights and has enough arm to throw out Pierre, and that'll end the inning. 1-2-3 for Clement. We go to the 4th. 6-0. Sammy and the Cubs in front.
Do you have the right truck? The 2004 Chevy Silverado, now available with Power Packs. Get this Silverado extended cab with a light-duty Power Pack, Vortec V8 heavy-duty trailering, plus the Safe and Sound Power Pack, bucket seats, Bose sound system, and more. Combine Power Pack savings with cash back for a total value of $4,500 on select models. Silverado now available with Power Packs. It's the right truck.
Let's say this is your car. Nice hardtop. If you drive safely, meaning you do stuff like obey the speed limit, always check your blind spot, and avoid accidents, hey, watch it, Leadfoot, then Allstate could reward you with something you'll eat right up. Some green. Up to 20% off your insurance bill. It's the Allstate Safe Driver Discount. Call today and find out how you're in good hands with Allstate. Hey, this is for the safe driver. Here you go.
Hi, guys. KFC.
Check this out.
Cool laptop. Premium kazoo. Hey, there's chicken in here.
It's too easy.
Finally, a kids meal that's fun for kids and moms. KFC's Kids Laptop Packs. Real chicken, a side dish, Mott's applesauce, fruit by the foot snack, and a Sierra Mist. Just $2.99.
Mom, did you?
The square meal in a fun box. Only at KFC.
Happy anniversary, honey.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
There's something I gotta do.
Oh, yeah? What?
I love this woman! I love her!
What are you doing?
do.
Oh my God. I love this man. I love him. I love him. I love him.
The League Championship Series on Fox brought to you by Chevy Silverado. It's the right truck. By HP Technology, services and people help make more things more possible. By Allstate, you're in good hands with Allstate. And by long-lasting Energizer. Do you have the bunny inside? Well, I don't know if Al Leiter or Steve Lyons has the bunny inside, but there is very little doubt that fellow right there does. Come on now. He was all lit up in between innings. 1-1 to Kenny Lofton. Now, Steve, you think they're going to run him out of here for that outfit? They let him in here.
They should run him out of here for that outfit. Talk about a fashion faux pas, even down in South Beach, which is hard to do.
No, he would be big in South Beach.
Neon man.
Wow.
Think his face is sunburned?
Two and two to Lofton.
That guy does give you a whole different perspective on being lit.
Kenny Lofton's first job worked at a dog kennel. Good for him. Helping out dogs that were looking for a home. Check swing and a foul ball out of play. Of course, Kenny Lofton grew up just outside of Chicago, so coming to the Cubs, a homecoming for him after spending time the year before with the White Sox before the trade to the Giants. 3-2 to Lofton. A heavily recruited basketball star, Kenny Lofton, played under Lute Olson at the University of Arizona. Kenny Lofton played less than a handful of games of college baseball while at the University of Arizona. I mean, there wasn't one of those things where, you know, is it baseball, is it basketball? Lofton was a basketball star.
Had a tremendous program.
Absolutely, one of the best in all of college basketball. But then they had an opportunity for him to come out and play his final year. Was only out there a handful of games, and the Houston Astros took a flyer on him by drafting him. And there's ball 4. While we have a moment, let's check in with Jeannie Zalasko in Los Angeles.
Hello. As if New Yorkers and New Englanders needed another reason to boil over, they'll meet on the gridiron tomorrow as well, a place where physical contact is invited. Yikes. Other big games, LeVar Arrington and Warren Sapp going at it. Bucks and Redskins gathering for those of you in Chicago, Bears and Saints. Fox NFL Sunday begins with America's #1 pregame show, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific.
Well, I think we may have to get some picks of some of those games a little bit later on tonight from none other than Steve Psycho Lyons, who so far this year is undefeated with his NFL picks. Ball 1 to Mark Rezzolani. Of course, Steve has only picked 2 games, but he's 2-0.
I'll pick them all this time.
If you're a Marlins fan right now watching this, it's very important that Helling does his job. What I mean is that the bullpens in this Friday, Saturday, Sunday were going to be taxed. And last night, Fox threw 30, Urbina 31 pitches, Tejera 6, and Looper 11. Those are your go-to guys. The series isn't over. You need for Helling to get deep in the game, maybe finish the game. And to me, if he's able to do that, that's a big, big plus. This is a start for Rick Helling. It'll save on Fox, Urbina, and Tejera and Looper. Before the game, Dusty was talking about the bullpen. He said, well, maybe the backside is the front side and the front side is the backside. Games are won and lost by the bullpen. And even though this is lopsided, Helling's got to go deep. Maybe finish it.
And, of course, there's still more than enough time for the Marlins to get back in this game.
Exactly. under the assumption that it stays this way.
Absolutely.
It's not totally lost if Helling were to finish.
And that's why 2 pitches ago we saw Pudge Rodriguez call a pitch out. Kenny Lofton, maybe during the regular season, might not run in this situation. 6 runs up in the 4th. But this is the playoffs, and it is only the 4th. Kenny Lofton, if he gets a pitch to run on, will steal a base.
Check swing and a miss. Grzelcyk didn't realize the ball got away from Rodriguez. He's gone on strikes. And Lofton will take second base. Second strikeout for Helling.
Big slider away. Rodriguez, a little bit of a late reaction to that because he kind of hooked that slider. Long reach for Pudge to get all the way over there. Lofton easily rambles into second.
Now Sammy Sosa. A pair of walks, a pair of runs for Sosa. Good overhand breaking ball there by Helling. And that certainly is an advantage for Helling, having been a starter his entire career, including this year with Baltimore. So, you know, stamina will not be a problem for Rick Helling. He is one big, strong guy. 0-2.
If I'm Rick Helling, I'm taking this entire appearance. Hopefully McKeon can keep me in. This is my start. I'm thinking it as a start. The scoreboard is irrelevant. I'm making pitches, and I will continue to pitch. I don't care 2-1 count. I'm down by 6. If I have to throw a changeup to get him out, I'm throwing the changeup. This isn't batting practice.
One and two.
Thing about that, too, when you look at the way the Marlins have pitched, and they have not pitched well. You look at the outing that Redmond had yesterday was outstanding. Brad Penny had a rough outing. Josh Beckett had a rough start. Dontrell Willis had a bad outing. Helling, if they get past this round and into the World Series, maybe looking at a start in the World Series.
Sosa gone on strikes, 2 away in the inning. Let's revisit this at bat. Helling against Sosa.
Pitch by pitch, big curveball, freezes Sammy on the first one, throws it a farther away on the slider. Try to go fastball away, and then Sammy just with an excuse me swing right there on a real tight slider, breaking away from Sosa.
You hear a lot about a cutter today. That's more of a cutter than a slider. It's the speed difference is maybe a mile or 2, and it looks just like a fastball. That's why you got an emergency hack on Sosa there.
Same pitch again right there to Alou. Fouled away. Well, that has been your bread and butter pitch, Al Leiter, throughout your outstanding career, that cutter.
It evolved from the slider. I learned my slider from Dave Righetti, who learned it from Ron Guidry, and I just got a little deeper on the ball, and I've fuddled with the grip, and then it just developed into a cut fastball.
Fouled back out of play.
The grip doesn't matter. It's really you want the pressure to be on the outside of the ball for the ball to fall through and go through the zone like this. I basically go off center of the ball, and there's more exposure on this side, and I throw it like a fastball. And so long as my hand is behind the ball and I think fastball, it cuts.
Why would you throw a cutter instead of a slider?
Some guys, good question, some guys, when you throw a slider, it's a power curveball. To me, a cutter is a fastball that cuts. It's a different mindset. And see the dot? There's a lot of hitters. Psycho, tell us everybody here. The dot, when a hitter sees a dot, they can identify that a little sooner. A cutter looks like a fastball. It has the same spin as a fastball, and they get that half commitment like Sosa did.
Served into short right field. Cabrera coming on, not going to get it. And racing home is Lofton. A 2-out bloop single by Moises Alou makes it 7-0 Cubs.
There's a guy in right field that's never played out there before. I don't know if anyone could have caught that ball, but maybe you dive for this ball if you have the opportunity.
Well, again, we bring up Cabrera had never played right field in his life until last night. And Steve, you're a guy who played everywhere on the field. I would imagine it's got to be hard to get a read off the ball if you're playing a position for the first time. Left field's different than right field, right?
It is. The ball spins differently. The ball's going to cut away from you differently in right field than it will on left field. If you're playing left field and a right-hander hits you a ball, the ball is going to spin away from you to your right. The exact opposite in right field. Here's the ball that gets looped into right field.
Let's just see what Cabrera's reaction is off the bat. No, he got a good jump. He's just pretty deep. He wouldn't have had that. I don't care who's out there.
Certainly speaks volumes. We touched on it earlier about the talent possessed by Miguel Cabrera. This guy was a minor league shortstop. He was playing third base in the minor leagues at Double-A all year. When the Marlins thought they might need to bring him to the major leagues, they said, get out and play a little left field. He played all of 2 games there before they brought him to the major league club. They played him in left field, and then Lowell got hurt. They moved him back into third. Squibber foul. Well, he's been at third ever since. And tonight, in right field, after getting less than a handful of innings there at the end of last night's game. Matt Clement just staring out at that scoreboard and saying, oh, thank you for these 7 runs. Fastball up and in.
He wasn't staring at anything. He was sleeping. Now he's awake. He's so comfortable right now, he took a little snooze. Wake him up. He's got to pitch the rest of the game. That's relaxed right there. He's cruising.
Runner goes. And a check swing. They appeal. No, it's ball 4. 7 walks issued tonight so far by Marlins pitching, and we are only in the 4th inning. 5 of them by that man, Dontrell Willis. And now 2 by Rick Kelly.
I think if there's anything that we've brought to the broadcast here in this series with Al around is the fact that it's okay to throw pitches that aren't in the strike zone. But you can't do that unless you've already got ahead. You got to be able to set guys up with the pitches that you want to try to get ahead in the strike in the count. Then you can throw pitches that aren't strikes and still get guys to swing at them, because hitters have to try to protect a lot bigger area of the plate when they're behind in the count.
Fly ball up and out of Eric Karros. Caroline's got it. That'll end the inning. 1 more run for the Cubs. They lead 7-0.
Millions of miles of voice and data lines out there. Who maintains all that? Well, in a large part of this country, SBC does. Why SBC? Seemed only right since we built it in the first place. Whatever it takes, period. SBC.
Of your life between 0 and 55. No one understands that like your State Farm agent. That's why more people insure their cars with us than anyone else. Because we think car insurance should be as much about you as it is about your car. HP Digital Photography. HP. Invent.
You know, I dated a girl named Georgia. Had to break it off, though. It's about love, man. That's what it's
For
about.
when you need it most, our longest-lasting Energizer Max ever.
After that, I told myself,
Do you have the bunny inside?
I am not dating girls named after states.
Ever notice that local news seems a little rushed? Every story kind of chopped up, cut into tidbits, leaving you empty and wanting more. The way I see it, you deserve a closer look, and I hope to bring that to you.
What did I get myself into?
Closer Look is about people.
So you think it's easy being an FBI agent?
Issues.
It makes for an explosive debate on a sore subject.
And examining every possible angle.
Anybody in there?
So you'll not only see what happened, you'll understand why.
Take a closer look with Mark Zapelza on Fox News Chicago.
Marlins come to bat here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Game 4 of this National League Championship Series. And much like Game 2, a big lead early on for the Cubs, 7-0. Luis Castillo, Ivan Rodriguez, and Derek Lee against Matt Clement. He's only allowed 1 hit. That was the very first batter he faced in the game. Juan Pierre with a single to right. 1-1. Ramos Ramirez, a first inning grand slam. The bases were loaded in that inning on 3 Dontrell Willis walks. Willis in 2 1/3 frames allowed only 3 hits but 6 earned runs. We talked about Clement. Steve touched on it earlier. Terrific stuff. And there you see, trailing only Schmidt and 4 others for lowest opponent's batting average against among all National League pitchers this year. The league only hit .227 against him. Rolled over to the right side, 1 away. Pudge Rodriguez coming up, and it's time for a little psycho analysis.
Well, I'm just not sure about the scouting report. Fastballs away. This is in the division series against the Giants. Drove in a couple runs, a game winner. This is in game 1 against the Cubs. Fastball away. Drove in 2 runs in the ninth. Last night, fastball away. Goes the other way. Drives in another run. If you want to get Pudge out, you can't keep throwing him fastballs on the outer half of the plate. To show him in, throw him breaking balls, something with a wrinkle, off the outside part of the plate. Get him to chase something away from him. That's not a strike. Here's his strikeout in the 5th inning last night. This is a pitch that he thinks is in. See him back off. Then they throw a slider away. He swings at it. Slider away again. Have a seat. There's that last slider off the outside part of the plate. He can't reach it. He loves the ball away from him. And not that far away, especially if you can set him up, as Al's been talking a lot about, with something in off the plate to get him thinking in there so that he can't reach what he likes to hit away.
Rodriguez with the Rangers without a home run, 3 RBIs in 10 games. Major league damage in the postseason as a Florida Marlin. Pulled foul.
Getting out in front of a ball. Whoa. Ramirez get his glove. Did he get a little bit of glove on it? Nope, he didn't. That's good coverage right there. If you don't catch the ball, it should be foul.
One and two now on Rodriguez with 1 down and nobody on. Came back in again, so he doubled up. Third base umpire, you saw right on that call, Jerry Crawford. Good to see him back and feeling well again. He had to leave us earlier in the series. Jerry, the crew chief, been a good umpire a long, long time.
Yeah, so they go in there hard a couple times. Where do you think they should go now?
How about that slider you've been talking about?
Off the plate. Left it out over.
Fly ball for Lofton.
Sometimes you don't do exactly what you want to do as a pitcher, and you can still get hitters out because we're just not that good. That ball left right out over the middle of the plate where Pudge can handle it, but you saw where Damian Miller wanted it. Kind of off to the side of that slider. It flattens out. Doesn't go. You see where Miller's sitting way on the outside.
And the only reason why I'd say hitters aren't that good sometimes is because that previous pitch that almost hit Jerry Crawford was 94. And it's all about upsetting the timing and rhythm of the hitter.
It's just flat out not that easy to hit.
2 down for Derek Lee, hit by a pitch his first time up. Well, Clement wondering where that pitch missed. It looked like a fastball right down the gut.
That's why we'll be home about 12:30, 1 o'clock tonight.
And then Lee turning around on that pitch and saying, oh, wasn't that the exact same one I just saw? 1-1. Derek Lee only 3 of 15 in this LCS after hitting 31 home runs and driving in 92 runs during the regular season.
Both career highs. Lived in Japan for 10 years. His father was playing in the Japanese leagues over there. Still manages in the Japanese leagues. Said he forgot every bit of Japanese he learned.
So, Steve, I'd imagine when he told you that you just brushed him right back up on the Japanese tongue because you being fluent in so many different languages.
Japanese not being one of them. I said, but do you know when they're still calling you ugly names in Japanese? He said, oh, yes.
2-2 pitch. Fisted at the shortstop Gonzalez and Clement. A 1-2-3 inning. 7-0 Cubs. Back after a word from your local Fox station.
I'm Mark Sapelsa. Tonight, why parking inside a garage may not be enough to get you out of buying a city sticker. Plus, thousands are limbering up for the Chicago Marathon. And
I'm Corey McFerrin in Miami. Can the Cubs do it again? Highlights and reaction after the game.
Hypoplastic left heart syndrome. A disease one child out of thousands will get. Our son was born with it. A disease that rare. What do you do? Where do you go?
I'm taking my shirt off.
Oh, no. Luckily, we found them. Good.
Starting with me, everything in this place is mean and miserable.
Is that a tear in your eye, Private? Do you want your mommy? Are you going to cry?
I'll kick the tradition and chivalry out of you.
I suggest you shut your mouth.
I can't hear you!
Nothing is over until we decide it is.
Just one more thing. Don't ever make me mad.
Sweet dreams, ladies! Straight left, right, left, huh!
Next time you think about going to Florida, think Southwest Airlines. Right now, fly nonstop from Chicago Midway to select cities in Florida for just $79.
You are now free to move about the country.
It defies logic, boggles the mind, and rewrites the laws of economics.
The under 20 Grand Marquis is thousands less than the average new car, including Buick LeSabre. Plus, it has more interior room and trunk space, and a standard V8 LeSabre doesn't offer. And now get the under 20 Grand Marquis for around $19,973. See your local Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
Aerial coverage of tonight's National League Championship Series is courtesy of Saturn and the Saturn Light Ship. Keep your eye on the sky when the Light Ship visits a major sporting event near you. Great to have them with us again tonight in South Florida. Cubs with a 7-0 lead here in Game 4, trying to take a 3-1 lead in this best of 7. Each of the last 3 National League Championship Series stood 2-1 after the first 3 had been played. In all 3 instances, the club which was leading the series won Game 4 to go up 3-1 and then wrapped up the series in Game 5. Gonzalez a fly ball to right. Now, Leiter, you remember well that 2000 LCS, a 2-1 win. And then you took home games 4 and 5. Arizona eliminating Atlanta in 5. And then Dusty Baker's San Francisco Giants took a 2-1 lead against St. Louis. Finished them off at Pac Bell Park. Arizona the only team of those 3 to win games 4 and 5 on the road, which the Cubs, of course, are trying to do.
And I'm glad we throw graphics up there like that. It's nice to follow the trends and everything. But do you put any faith in those type of numbers when you're talking about teams a couple of years ago, and you don't know how teams' rotations set up at all, Al?
Yeah. You know, all this talk of the curse of the GOAT, whatever this thing is.
Bambino as well.
People weren't even alive on this team, let alone know anything about it.
A big day tomorrow in the NFL here on Fox. Tampa Bay taking on the Redskins in D.C. The Eagles visit the surprising Dallas Cowboys. Another New York-Boston battle. The Giants in New England. The Bears will take on New Orleans. And then the battle of unbeatens, the Panthers and the Colts. It all begins noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox. Now, Al, are you a big football fan or no?
Medium.
Medium, okay. Well, then we'll have you in a medium sort of way log in when we come to our NFL picks. But Psycho will be ready to roll. You can mark it down, as we like to say.
Medium?
So-so.
You better jump on that pregame show on Fox then and get some knowledge going.
Yeah, Fox. Pregame, NFL.
JB, Howie, rest of the boys.
They ball down the right field line on the play.
They'll educate you.
That ball was hit down there in the spa area. Is that Butterbean down there?
No, that's the ball.
Clement gone on strikes. He says, hey, Psycho is supposed to meet me out here before the game.
Wireless troubles?
My phone works here, not there. Same with voicemail, email.
Sprint is different. All your services work the same wherever you go, on the most complete, all-digital, advanced wireless network in the nation. And all the calls are clear.
So everything works.
And this will never happen again.
PCS from Sprint. Try the nation's most complete wireless network.
Mom, can some of the guys come over for pizza? Sure. She said yes! Come on!
Whoa, got some big NFL appetites heading your way. Looks like you need the NFL deal from Pizza Hut and Pepsi. Order any large specialty pizza at regular price and you get a medium one-topping pizza and a 2-liter of Pepsi for just $1.99 more. The NFL deal, a Pizza Hut pizza and a Pepsi for just $1.99 more.
May I have another slice, please?
Oh, Michael, I don't know where you put it. You can please your crowd every day when you gather around the good stuff.
They represent power and luxury, boldness and refinement, and all the features you would expect in a luxury SUV. But perhaps what they represent most is an intriguing yet difficult choice. Lincoln Navigator or Lincoln Aviator. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer now for yet another intriguing choice. 0% APR or up to $3,000 cash back. Travel well.
Someone
is threatening to initiate an outbreak of a very deadly virus.
This fall,
the damage to this country will be catastrophic.
The terror is contagious.
Open the door! Just do it now! What happens next is on you, Jack!
24 premieres Tuesday, October 28th on Fox. Presented without commercial interruption by the next Ford F-150.
Bottom half of the 5th inning, Game 4 of this National League Championship Series, and Matt Clement throwing the ball very, very well. He's only allowed 1 base hit. That was the very first batter of the game, Juan Pierre. He was erased on a stolen base attempt. Clement has struck out 2, walked a batter, and hit a batter. Miguel Cabrera, Mike Lowell, Jeff Conine coming up.
Really only one member of the Cubs team would like to see this be a closer game, and that might be Matt Clement. Much maligned lately about his efforts on the mound. Not his efforts, but the end results. He's pitching a great game, and it's almost going unnoticed because of the blowout factor so far in this ball game. Not sure exactly what that is. A lot of Cub fans wear the Matt Clement beard when he pitches.
Base hit into right field by Miguel Cabrera. Mike Lowell coming to the plate. Of course, Lowell has had to come back from a broken hand this year. That was nothing in comparison to undergoing a routine physical exam in spring training of February 1999, then in the Yankees organization, when Lowell had to undergo surgery for testicular cancer after a small mass was found, as I mentioned, just during a routine physical. We had a chance to sit down and talk to Lowell about surviving cancer before the ball game here yesterday, and we'll have that for you here in just a moment. Through the legs of Karros, but able to recover and go to the bag. Here's Mike Lowell.
I don't have a problem being associated as a cancer survivor, but I didn't want cancer being what I'm looked upon. You know, I want to be a baseball player. Since I was 6 years old, I always dreamed about being a baseball player, and I think cancer maybe was a step in the road that I had to overcome. I think I've had to overcome a lot of things, you know, from experts saying I wouldn't have made it to the big leagues in the first place, so I figured this was one more, but it was definitely the biggest challenge.
It's interesting to note that Mike Lowell is married to his high school sweetheart. They got married in November of 1998. They dated all the way back at Coral Gables High School. And when they originally got married, doctors discovered a tumor on his wife Bertha's right ovary. Strike one on the outside corner. His wife said to him, if I can't have a baby, I'll adopt, and told him, if you're not comfortable with that, we should terminate our relationship. Mike said breaking up is not an option. Whatever road you take, I'm taking the same road with you. And by the way, they celebrated the birth of their first child 2 years ago, Alexis. Conine struck out his first time up. Miguel Cabrera in scoring position. We're only in the bottom of the 5th inning. It is a big Cub lead, but a long, long way to go in this one. Fouled out of play. And we have seen stranger thing happen. Steve, I know you have, because we've been sitting next to one another during some of the strangest things you'll ever see. And now 7-0's not a done deal in either dugout right now.
Not the way the Marlins have been showing what they can do with the stick.
Rolled over foul. Well, one thing is for sure. If the Cubs take a 3-1 lead in this series, The one thing that has to dramatically change for the Florida Marlins, their starting pitching in this series. Of the 4 starters they have used so far, including Dontrell Willis tonight, things have not gone well for the other 3. Beckett, Penny, Willis. They got a good effort, solid effort last night from Mark Redmond. Two and 2. And you look at some of the numbers from the regular season. You look down at the bottom, the combined ERA of the 4, barely over 3.5. But some crooked numbers in the postseason.
Well, you hate to blame it all on experience, but it is a different mindset. I don't care what people say. You realize the importance of these games, and sometimes you think a little differently.
And that's when it hurts you. Now, these Marlins have been in playoff-type games over the last month of the season leading up here, trying to be the wild card team. I am one of those guys that says I'm not a big proponent of guys with great experience in the postseason because you play some pretty difficult games getting here. It's how you react to that pressure of being in the playoffs, which turns you from being an average player to a great one.
In the hole, Gonzalez throws, and Conine beat it out. Cabrera advances on to third. There's been even a hint at some excitement inside this ballpark since the Cubs had the grand slam from Ramirez in the first inning.
Good hustle out of the box. Tough play for any shortstop going away from the ball. Carroll's trying to cheat. He's the guy right there, Dontrell Willis. Cheering the loudest on the bench. The one guy that got roped in this start, mainly because he walked too many guys. Could be sitting in the back of the clubhouse right now with ice on his arm and crying about the job he did, but he's not. Back out on the bench cheering for his team.
Breaking ball, and Clement again staring in, wondering why not strike one. Runners on the corners. One away here in the Florida 5th inning. Had a pretty good pitch to hit, fouled it straight back. 1-1.
Yeah, we go back to that experience thing, Alan. You know, believe me, hey, I don't have a problem with people that think it means a lot. It's nice to be in the playoffs every year, but you look at these Florida Marlins with all the young players on this team, not a lot of playoff experience, not a lot of playoff experience on the Cubs. They beat the team that had it all, the Braves. And it just seems like, to me, when you get into a pressure situation that the playoffs provide for you, it's how you harness your emotions, or harness those emotions, and the good players, a guy that you can really count on, uses those emotions to become a better player rather than having those emotions take him out of his game.
Sounds great in theory, but I'm telling you, having been in a few of these, you think differently, and that's the hardest challenge, to block all of the exterior distractions.
Slow roller to short. Gonzalez will throw out Gonzalez. The Marlins on the board as Cabrera scores from third. A 7-1 game. While we have a moment, let's send it to Los Angeles. Here's Jeannie Velasco.
Well, Pedro Martinez had an easier time with 72-year-old bench coach Don Zimmer than with the Yankees lineup. Now, Zimmer came away with a cut on the bridge of his nose. He laughed about it later, but much later after the game, he was actually taken away from Fenway, taken to a nearby hospital for examination. Tomorrow, baseball's postseason continues, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Fox with Game 4, the ALCS between the Red Sox and Yankees. More fireworks. Sports' biggest month of the year continues tomorrow, only on Fox.
Thank you, Jeannie, and certainly all of our thoughts and prayers go out with Don Zimmer, one of the great characters and one of the great baseball men that has ever donned a professional uniform. Former manager of the Cubs, in fact, the manager the last time they reached the league championship series in 1989.
Great baseball mind.
Todd Hollinsworth will bat for Rick Helling. Hollinsworth delivered a big base hit here last night. An RBI single in the bottom of the 8th inning, and there's a base hit into center field. It'll bring in the second Marlin run. So a 7-run lead is down to 5, and we're only in the 5th inning.
Here comes Larry Rothschild, and he's going to be positive as he always is, but he's also going to remind him, look, this lead is not insurmountable. The Marlin lineup has already shown that. Continue to maintain your aggressiveness and everything that makes you great. Focus on what your pitches are. Know the hitter. Continue to pitch. It's not to say just because he's given up a couple runs that he's not pitching anymore, but just a reminder, hey, look, kick it in. Maintain that focus. Maintain the concentration and aggressiveness that you need to be good.
Top of the order coming up for the Florida Marlins. Hollinsworth, the runner at first. 2 away in the inning. '63rd pitch of the game now for Matt Clement. And there's strike. Helling with an excellent effort out of the Florida Marlins bullpen. Fouled out of play. He went 2 2/3 innings. Allowed 2 hits and 1 run. Vieira singled to right and grounded out to third. Short left field. Alu is there, and that'll end the inning. But the Marlins get 2 of the runs back on 3 base hits. They leave a man. We played 5. 7-2 Chicago.
Your everyday adventures and the SUV that helps you conquer them. The comfortable, refined Toyota Highlander. Now with a more powerful engine and available 3rd-row seat.
Cash or credit? Oh, hey, Yahoo. Oh, making me dizzy. Oh, Bank One. British Airways?
Bank One.
Top of the morning to you. I'm not really British. I sound like it, don't I? Borders. Let me guess. Bank One. Bank One. Bank One. Hey, Helen, another Bank One.
Hundreds of leading names, one you.
This is so you.
Find the card that fits you best.
Cute dog. Oh, you 2 have the same eyes.
Individual answers. Bank One.
The Home Depot is more than a store. This weekend, it's finishing the project you've been wanting to start. Right now at the Home Depot and Expo Design Center, make no payments and get no interest for 12 months on any purchase store-wide of $299 or more. Just use your Home Depot or Expo consumer credit card. You don't even need a coupon. Get that project done this long weekend, starting at the Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
Turn up the heat with new Dentyne Fire. This is no ordinary gum. Ruby red shell outside, intensely cinnamon inside. It's new. It's cinnamon. It sizzles. New Dentyne Fire. Spark something.
Mixes it with love, makes world peace. I remember the song, the commercial with the Candy Man. They sang the Candy Man can, the Candy Man can. It makes the world taste good. Okay.
Dontrell Willis still hanging around, rooting on his teammates. A disappointing start tonight for the 21-year-old left-hander. Walked 5 batters, all but one of those walks wound up scoring. Now the third pitcher used by Jack McKeon. Rookie right-hander Nate Bump, a former first-round pick of the San Francisco Giants. Top of the order for the Cubs, Kenny Lofton, Mark Resolanek, then Sammy Sosa. Top 3 batters in the Cub lineup without a hit tonight, but don't let that fool you. 2 walks for Lofton, 2 walks for Sosa, 4 runs scored. Bunted, back to Bump. We remind you Major League Baseball is giving away World Series tickets for life and other great prizes. Winning hologram numbers will be announced during games 1 through 4 of the 2003 World Series here on Fox. Visit your neighborhood Radio Shack store for your chance to win. Visiting any of the 4 cities of a team still left in the postseason would be mighty good trips if you were to win those World Series tickets for life. Come down here to South Florida. You like Steve Lyons, hang out on the beach.
Yeah, we've had a lot of time to do that.
Go to the Windy City.
Be like those guys right there, Cub fans that come down to sunny Florida. Of course, our games with the Cubs up in Chicago, the weather was 80 degrees and beautiful.
Yes, at Castillo 2 away.
You can even hang out like baseball head. I just have to do it, Tommy. I can't help myself. They just got married, those two. That's like the honeymoon suite here at Pro Player.
Out of play. I thought the idea on the honeymoon was to make sure everything was cool for, your wife.
I know, she's hanging out, and he's in the pool.
What is that all about?
See, she's got the veil working there, and he's just chilling in the pool. And it's already started. He's probably ordering her around, telling her to go get hot dogs and stuff. She doesn't even get a chance to get in the pool.
1-2 to Sosa. Breaking ball again, and Sammy laying off that pitch. Check swing and a miss, strike 3. A very impressive 1-2-3-6 for Nate Bump. So now that Marlin offense, Castillo, Rodriguez, Lee and company coming up, down 5.
Some interesting facts about Delaware, guys. It was the first state to ratify the Constitution. Thank you, forefathers. Man, am I glad we wrote that thing up. Each article, we'll cover all the articles, but North Carolina. Horse population of 220,000. A lot of hooves, too, almost 1 million. A lot of hay. What is hay, exactly? Is it wheat? I dated a girl named Georgia. Had to break
For
it
when
off,
you
though.
need it most, our longest-lasting Energizer Max ever.
Yeah, after that, I told myself,
Do you have the bunny
I am
inside?
not dating girls named after states.
So what did the doctor say?
He said the reason that I'm having trouble getting around is pain from arthritis.
Really?
He said to get moving again.
I should take a leave.
But we've always taken Tylenol.
I know, but the doctor said that nothing is better than a leave.
Doctors know Aleve can stop pain all day with fewer pills. And Aleve works right at the site of arthritis.
So how's the Aleve working?
Like a charm.
Aleve. And for all-day non-drowsy relief of your tough cold symptoms, try Aleve Cold and Sinus.
Hey, that thing got a Hemi?
You're about to find out.
Excuse me. Can I have my order, please?
Dodge Ram with the legendary Hemi. Loved by those who have one, dreamt about by those who don't.
Sweet.
I'm loving it. Is this the place to eat? Since I don't cook, I'll just rock to the beat. I'm loving it. At the end of the day, to relieve the stress, we add a little play. I'm loving it. Sometimes we have mishaps. You just overcome and adapt to setbacks. I'm loving it. You know you're my world. How could I mind love taps from my girl? McDonald's. I'm loving it. Move your feet, rock to the beat. Hungry for the music, gotta eat. I'm loving it, I'm loving it. No guts, no glory. Seems like I stumbled in the wrong territory. I'm loving it. Who'd want to mock me? Rough around the edges, a tad bit sloppy. I'm loving it. My car's way too clean. If only I could start this fine piece of machine. I'm loving it. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
The Matrix Reloaded on DVD. Here we go. Reload before the revolution begins. Buy The Matrix Reloaded on DVD. Then see The Matrix Revolutions in theaters.
Bottom half of the sixth inning. A big inning for Clement. A big inning for the Marlins offense. They trailed 7-0 until the fifth when they scored a couple of runs off the Cub right-hander. And now they've got Castillo, Rodriguez, Lee, and they're hoping for more than that here in the bottom of the sixth. Castillo 0 for 2 is fly to right and grounded out to Gresolana.
The Marlins hitters have to be very selective at the plate, and Clement has to be very aggressive within the strike zone here.
High chopper cut off by Ramirez. One away. We asked you the question at home earlier. Who came out the better end of the deal with Clement and Al Fonseca in exchange for Dontrell Willis? We asked Matt Clement the same thing yesterday.
I thought of that, a couple times since it's sunk in and we've played a couple games. It's just amazing the fact that both these teams are here at this time. It just credits the players, and it should be a lot of fun. And like I said, when I left Florida, I think they helped me by the move I made and the move that the other players made. I think we're all positives for everybody.
And certainly that has been the case for both teams. Al Fonseca at times has been very good for the Cubs. Same thing for Clement, who won 14 games. And Dontrell, a 14-game winner, after being brought up from the minor leagues very early this season with the Marlins.
Well, it's nice to see that when it happens for both clubs and the players involved in deals where they all go on to have success with their new teams and possibly greater success than they've ever had in their career at that point.
Smoked into center field by Pudge Rodriguez. He is aboard with 1 out. And the result of our Sprint Virtual Manager question: who got the better end of the deal? And the Cub fans showing up in full force. There's a real surprise.
The Cub fans have been out there voting in full force every night, haven't they?
Yeah, it's like that question we had earlier this summer, Steve, a game we did in L.A. Who has the better bullpen, the Cubs or the Dodgers? The Dodgers almost broke an all-time Major League record for lowest ERA by a bullpen. The Cubs won 70-30. Breaking ball in there, strike one to Derek Lee.
Oh, yeah. You look at, we were talking about the trades there, the one with Clement going to the Cubs along with Alfonseca, and Willis coming to Florida. Nice when everything works out for both players. Of course, the opposite is true occasionally too, like A.J. Burnett coming to the Florida Marlins, traded for Al Leiter, and guys like Leiter just playing out the string now.
Because he's a bum.
A.J. Burnett.
Big future for that guy. Big future for that guy right there.
Oh, 2 now to Derek Lee. Off the end of the bat into short center field. Walton is there. 2 away in the inning.
You saw that guy sitting on the bench there, A.J. Burnett, with just the brightest future ahead of him. And of course, you know, the guy he got traded for just about over with, isn't it?
And I get to sit up here with you. I got to look at your career numbers now. You're sounding pretty good.
Please don't.
And I get to do charts. You're right.
I'm so much better now that I'm up here than when I was down there, because I just keep getting better and better the further I was away from the game. Just don't look at the numbers.
Miguel Cabrera with 2 down and 1 on.
Sit up here and it looks easy. You sit here and say, I could have hit that pitch.
What's he swinging at?
98 on the block. I'd have hit it.
Fly ball into left field. That one hit off the end of the bat. So Clement gets through the heart of the order in the 6th. 1 hit, no runs. 7-2 Cubs. We're back after a word from your local Fox station.
I'm Mark Sapelsa. Tonight, a bench-clearing brawl at Fenway. Yankees coach 72-year-old Don Zimmer goes down. Plus, there soon may be nowhere to hide for city sticker scofflaws. And
I'm Corey McFerrin at Pro Players Stadium for the full post-game story. Keep it right here on Fox Chicago.
Now at your local Ford store. 0 interest, 0 down, no payments until 2004. Get 0 interest for 72 months or $2,500 to $5,000 cash back on every 2003 Explorer 4-door, Windstar, Focus, ZX2, Ranger, and Taurus. That's interest-free financing for 72 months or big cash back on all these best-selling Fords. 0 interest, 0 down, no payments until 2004 or $2,500 to $5,000 cash back. Now at your local Ford store.
I love hanging out with my son. I love playing games with him. And I love more than anything probably us just laughing. I mean, at home, we imitate, coyotes to each other. And he knows what a coyote sounds like. There's nothing greater than the laughter of a child. Because it's genuine, they don't care who hears them, they don't care how loud it is, and they don't care if you think it's funny or not. He can do that coyote pretty good. Oh, oh, oh!
I want free checking.
No monthly service fees.
No minimum balance.
Really, 100% free.
Like me. Come on.
How about free online bill pay?
Can you do that for me?
Free online bill pay. That'd be awesome.
I want to see my canceled checks online.
In front of my computer?
A website that is totally understandable.
If I'm running a little low on my checking account, I'd like to get an email.
I don't want the minimum. Give me the maximum.
That's what I want.
Introducing free online bill pay from Bank One.
For great lights, head to Menards. Give any room a new look with interior lights by Design House, like these elegant etched glass or stylish octagonal wall lights. On sale just $14.98 each. Matching ceiling lights are $24.87 each. Add a splash of color to your walls with a great selection of stylish pre-pasted decorative wallpaper borders by Blonder. On sale in the latest patterns, just $7.77 each. Decorate and save at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Top half of the 7th inning we go. Game 4 of this National League Championship Series. The Cubs got a grand slam from Aramis Ramirez in the 1st inning. They scored twice in the 3rd, once more in the 4th to open a 7-0 lead. The Marlins scored a pair of runs in the bottom of the 5th. They bumped beginning his 2nd inning on the bump, and it's strike 1 to Moises Alou. The former Florida Marlin has been on base 3 times, 2 singles, has knocked in a run, has scored twice. Matt Clement has allowed 2 runs on just 5 base hits. In fact, the Cubs only have 5 base hits in this game.
Yeah, it's the walks that have really hurt this Florida Marlins club today. As you talked about earlier, 5 walks from Willis, 4 of them scored.
2 more from Helling, and 1 of those 2 walks scored. So 5 of the 7 have scored in the game. Ground ball to Gonzalez. 1 away.
Great shot at the stance that Alou uses at the plate. Wears cleats but doesn't even use them. Standing on the inside parts of his shoes. Now, look at that. So far, look at his cleats aren't even hitting the dirt. He's so far knock-kneed in there, just trying to get himself comfortable so that he doesn't overstride and overswing. Doesn't look good in the beginning, but he looks good when he swings the bat.
Aramis Ramirez with that grand slam in the opening inning, and he puts a charge into this one, and Ramirez has knocked in 6 runs in a game tonight. Third home run of the series, second home run of the game for Aramis Ramirez.
Same pitch he hit out from Dontrell Willis. Fastball, inner half of the plate. No question about this one.
The 6 RBIs ties a league championship series record for most runs batted in a game.
Of course, in the first, he got that pitch from Dontrell, and he said, "What you talking about, Willis?" Hit it into the seats.
Ramirez an RBI single in the 3rd, solo home run here in the 7th. The only other player in league championship series history to knock in 6 runs in a game. Cub fans remember it well. Will Clark for the Giants in that LCS in 1989 against the Cubs. That was a series where Will Clark and Mark Grace put on a hitting clinic. The Giants won that series to advance on, losing to Oakland in the Earthquake series of 1989. Strike 3 called to Eric Karros.
I think Pittsburgh just called, and they want Ramirez back. I'll tell you what, Dusty Baker loves this guy. He says, how many guys out there right now, 25 years old, already have 2 seasons where they've driven in 100 runs? He says we will get his problems worked out defensively. We've already addressed them, and he's much, much better with us. Made 33 errors on the season. He said he just had a little bit lazy feet, not good footwork. My staff will get that figured out. He said he's played great defense for us. Hit as many home runs in the last 7 weeks of the season as Sammy Sosa did.
Every organization has a position that is a problem position. Third base has been that position for the Chicago Cubs
ever since Ron Santo.
Since Ron Santo left the Cubs. And of course the Cubs very much playing for Ron Santo, who's back in Arizona watching the game tonight in preparation of surgery in the coming week. And the current Cub third baseman has made Ron Santo proud. 6 RBIs tonight for Ramirez.
Program in the 1st. $4.
Summer wind.
Snacks in the fourth, $25.
From across the sea.
A soda at the end of the seventh, $3.
It lingered there.
Friday night, no TV, DVDs, or video games.
And walk with
Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Devoted fan of Major League Baseball.
Introducing the new full-size Nissan Pathfinder Armada. With room for 8, who will you bring?
Honey, what are you doing?
I'm registering for the wedding.
Hey, send her a picture of that one. Nothing says I love you like chrome pipes.
Be there with the most whenever minutes and a T-Mobile camera phone.
T-Mobile.
Get more.
It's a championship series doubleheader. Game 5 of the NLCS and Game 4 of the ALCS tomorrow on Fox.
The League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by Budweiser. Grab a cold, fresh Budweiser. It's game time. Back at Pro Player Stadium, where the Cubs, after 6.5, have an 8-2 lead. They lead this best-of-7 National League Championship Series 2-1. Mike Lowell to lead things off. He's walked and bounced out to first. He'll be followed by your former teammate, Al Leiter. When the Marlins won the World Series in 1997, Jeff Conine. Lowell getting his second postseason start this year, his first in this National League Championship Series. And Lowell first pitch swinging, a pop fly into right field. One pitch, one out. We asked Conine, his second go-round with the Marlins, about the future of this Florida franchise.
We got a 20-year-old third baseman that has been huge for us in the playoffs, and for him not to be affected by these situations is pretty impressive. We got a 21-year-old pitcher. We got a 22-year-old pitcher that, you know, have stepped up countless times in the last month when we needed him to and done the job. So it's been very refreshing to see that.
A very different Marlin team than the one you starred for, Al Leiter, that won the '97 World Series title. A team largely built, almost entirely built, on veteran players that were still hungry to win a ring.
He was Mr. Marlin right from the start. Didn't play a whole lot in '97, but what he was just referring to there was different than the dynamics of the '97 team when it was a lot older and more veteran type team. I'm so happy for him. I refer and think of him as what Darren Daulton meant to us when we traded in '97 from Philadelphia. A leadership guy, a veteran guy, great in the clubhouse, good example, plays the game right, hard-nosed. All of those things exemplify Jeff Conine and what Darren Daulton meant to the '97 team.
Grounded down to third, picked out of the dirt by Karros. 2 away. We talked about David Dombrowski, the former general manager, the current general manager, Larry Beinfest, and the job they've done to build this team. A.J. Burnett came over for Al Leiter. Derek Lee from San Diego and the Kevin Brown deal. Braden Looper from the Cardinals for Renteria. Brad Penny from Arizona for Matt Manti. A trade Mike Lowell came over from the New York Yankees. And then you look at the guys they built up in their system. 3 of the 4 in the lineup here tonight. Josh Beckett will get the ball tomorrow. Steve, you talked about the future of A.J. Burnett. For those that have never seen him pitch, there are veteran pitchers around baseball that will tell you Burnett might have the best pure power stuff of any young pitcher in the game today. Not as polished as a Mark Pryor.
Got a no-hitter under his belt already. That'll show you some power. Just crazy enough almost to be a lefty, but he's not. Got some fire in his eyes, goes out there with some intimidation. Kind of amazing to think that, as you said, a lot of people think maybe he has the best stuff of anyone on the staff when we've seen some pretty good young pitchers on this staff.
One and 2 on Gonzalez. Struck him out, and that'll end the inning. We go to the 8th. It has been an outstanding effort tonight by Matt Clement.
My brother Danny and me, for as long as I can remember, we've been competitive about everything. He got a new truck, I got a bigger one. I've got a family, he's got a bigger one. That's the way it's always been. Then my doctor tells me to start taking an aspirin every day for my heart. Just one St. Joseph aspirin. It's smaller than a regular aspirin, but he says that's all I need. So maybe bigger isn't always better. But try telling him that.
St. Joseph aspirin. Trust it with all your heart.
When you care about your car, you want to keep it protected. No one understands that like your State Farm agent.
We live where you live.
That's why more people insure their cars with State Farm than anyone else. Because we care about you the way you care about your car.
Wow. Somebody's letting go today.
It's okay. I had Subway for lunch.
Subway, delicious low-fat sandwiches, so you can feel good about being good and okay about being bad.
It's okay. I had Subway.
Subway, good, so you don't always have to be.
They represent power and luxury, boldness and refinement, and all the features you would expect in a luxury SUV. But perhaps what they represent most is an intriguing yet difficult choice. Lincoln Navigator or Lincoln Aviator. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer now for yet another intriguing choice. 0% APR or up to $3,000 cash back. Travel well.
You know, I dated a girl named Georgia. Had to break it off, though. It's about love, man. That's what it's
For
about.
when you need it most, our longest-lasting Energizer Max ever.
After that, I told myself,
Do you have the bunny inside?
I am not dating girls named after states.
8-2 ball game. Cubs lead the Marlins here in the top of the 8th inning. Game 4 of this National League Championship Series. It'll be Damian Miller, followed by Matt Clement, and then Kenny Lofton against a new Marlin pitcher who started Game 2 and was roughed up by the Chicago Cubs. 14-game winner during the regular season, Brad Penny. His second career relief appearance. His last came in the 2000 season.
I think this is a good move by Jack McKeon. This would be his day to throw on the side anyway. I assume he's still going to make his regularly scheduled start if we get that far.
While we have a moment, some breaking news from Boston. Let's go back to Los Angeles and Jeannie Zalasko.
Yes, Tom, more fallout in Fenway from the brawl. The second one on the bullpen. According to the Red Sox, their groundskeeper was rooting for his Sox with a double fist pump after a double play. It turned into a, quote, unprovoked attack by Jeff Nelson and Kareem Garcia. Paul Williams is at a Boston hospital with cleat wounds on his back and arms. The Red Sox called Major League Baseball for an investigation. Criminal charges could be in the future for the two Yankees.
I'm not so sure that that's good to hear that it wasn't a fan or that it was a member of the grounds crew. The member of the grounds crew that was in the bullpen, which I suppose is better than having some yahoo jump into the bullpen and cause trouble. But either way, as you said very simply and as good as you can put it, Tom, ugly incidents happening in Boston.
That's ridiculous. I mean, just ridiculous. Go to a ball game, have a good time, enjoy yourselves, and don't act like a fool. Popped up and caught by Derek Lee. And, you know, Al, you've been in situations. I mean, you pitched in both leagues. You pitched in big games.
Pitched in both sides of New York. I hope it's not a grounds crew. Here are these grounds crew guys that hang around. I know even in this stadium, they come through the dugout area. And that's the last thing you want to hear for a guy sitting in there as heat as this game for who's working for the Red Sox to be dogging your team sitting right next to you. They're talking about prosecuting the Yankees. That's dangerous. There's been numerous times.
Pulled into right field, a base hit by Kenny Lofton. His first at 3 at-bats. It's the third time he's been on.
Where players are provoked to basically call out some fans in which hopefully they haven't, unlike in hockey where the fans actually come onto the field. That would be dangerous because there would be 25 guys not too happy with that fan on the field. The whole thing is ridiculous. It's disgusting.
Why a member of the grounds crew would actually be stationed in the bullpen anyway. I mean, what does he got to do out there?
Well, Steve, obviously you played in Boston. I mean, I've not spent enough time there. Does the grounds crew have any of their
there's no
equipment or anything like that out in that direction?
No, it's down the line. I don't know if there's any requirement where the grounds crew may be going out there at certain points in the game to re-manicure the bullpen mounds, which is a possibility. I don't really have a problem with the member of the grounds crew cheering for the Red Sox unless he was being blatant and overbearing, standing in the middle of a Yankee bullpen while he was doing it. It's probably not a real smart move.
Well, you know, it seems like it really does come down to just common sense on both sides. I mean, if you're hanging out in the Yankee bullpen, whether you work for the Boston Red Sox or work for anybody, your chances of pumping your fist in the air, if that is indeed the accurate story, in the face of the other team is not a smart thing. At the same time, if you're a member of the New York Yankees and you're getting jeered and cheered all the time by fans, what sense does it make to take issue with some guy and allegedly go after the guy?
And there are a few bullpens in all of baseball that are dangerous, and that bullpen, especially Yankee-Boston rivalry, is very dangerous.
Kenny knocks down the comebacker and throws out Breslaunik, 2 away in the inning. Let's take a look at our game summary brought to you by Nissan. Clement has been up to the challenge here tonight after a losing effort in his first postseason start this year against Atlanta. Dontrell Willis did not fare well. He walked 5 batters, 4 of the 5 scored in his 2 1/3 innings of work. Aramis Ramirez, a league championship series tying effort with 6 RBIs tonight.
Now they're going to walk Sammy Sosa now, and one of those other bullpens that you were talking about that's dangerous is in Wrigley Field, where the players sit right down the foul line. And Chad Kruger had an incident a couple of years ago where one of the fans tried to steal his hat, and he went in the stands after it.
Getting back to the Fenway bullpen, there's a little hut. I don't know if you can see down here. Well, this place isn't nearly as violent especially in a series like the Red Sox and Yankees. But because of the little coverage, the fans are right behind you. And if you want to get out and stretch and be prepared for the inning, you see here with the bullpen, you got that little hut.
Little roof.
It's a narrow roof, and they just get on you enough, and they're on all three sides. And the reason why it gets dangerous because it takes a couple foolish fans to say enough to provoke somebody sitting there in the bullpen to maybe chirp back, and before you know it, you got an incident. And I guarantee that if that was a ground screw guy, he did more than pump his fist. I can guarantee it. Guys in that bullpen for the Yankees aren't that stupid to start fighting somebody because he pumped his fist. No way.
And if that guy from the grounds crew has cleat marks in his back, then the guys in the bullpen did a lot more than just say, get out of here.
Bases loaded for Moises Alou. Breaking ball down and away. Alou, a couple of hits, has scored a couple of runs, knocked in a run. Alou was the only Cub hitter in the lineup in Game 2 with Penny on the mound that did not have a base hit in the game. Fouled away, 1 ball and 1 strike.
8-2 game. McKeon obviously respected Sammy Sosa, intentionally walked him. Still thinking they have 6 more outs. It's only 6 runs. He's not going to let Sammy do some damage.
We were about to say before we got that news story about Brad Penny coming in, throwing on his day to throw anyway. He had a very difficult time locating his pitches in his start. This is a great way to get him back into another game, get him a better feel for his pitches and how he's throwing in a game situation, and then let him make his start later on if the series goes that far.
Tapper down a low, nice play. And the force out at second base will end the inning. Penny gives up a couple of hits. Cubs leave him loaded. Marlins starting to run out of outs.
Well, that's the last of it.
The original rugged Nissan Pathfinder, and introducing the new full-size Pathfinder Armada. Pathfinders, countless adventures.
Tell me about your dream.
It's like a movie. There's a sword and a stone.
Behold Excalibur.
A magic cost-cutting sword.
A magic cost-cutting sword.
But it's stuck. We can't get it out. What does it mean?
Perhaps there are no more costs to cut. Perhaps you should be
King Arthur?
more productive.
Sorry.
Come on in, Derek. Derek, this is the postseason. I hear you're out dancing, eating, and just carousing with your friends. Is it true you're going out every night?
Absolutely not.
Good.
If you want to enjoy the New York nightlife, bring your Visa card, because Orso, Cheetah, and the Broom Street Bar don't take American Express.
Hey, Derek, we are running late. Sorry.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
You want the job?
I want the job.
90K.
180.
100.
170.
110.
160.
120.
150.
120.
140.
120.
Bonus? No bonus.
Done.
The League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer. By IBM, taking business to the next level with e-business on demand. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And by America Online. Look for 9.0 Optimized coming this fall. Bottom of the 8th inning. And the Cubs with an 8-2 lead here in Game 4 of this NLCS. Lenny Harris will lead things off. He will bat for Brad Penny. Lenny started the season with the Chicago Cubs. They released him. The Marlins scooped him up. Major League Baseball's all-time pinch hit leader. And one of the real good guys in the game today.
Real.
No doubt about it. What a terrific guy he's always been since the day he was brought to the major leagues in 1987 with Cincinnati. Born and raised right here in Miami, Florida.
The only time you don't see Lenny Harris smiling is when he's at the plate.
He has just got a fabulous sense of humor. Loves giving it, loves taking it. I mean, you want to give him all the heat in the world, he'll take it and he'll turn around and give it right back to you. There's a lesson to be learned there for all of us. I mean, you be a good guy, you're going to get maybe another chance. You're a good guy, you get another chance. I mean, he's earned the chances. But when you hit under 200 this season, some people may say, you know, maybe Lenny Harris can't do it anymore.
Hey, I got news for you. It's easy to hit 200 when you're sitting on the bench most of the time, and your only opportunity to play is pinch hitting against usually the other team's best pitcher.
Best lefty.
Yeah, that a lot of times. The other team's closer. Go get him, Lenny.
Kyle Farnsworth cranking it up in the Cubs bullpen. Clement, 7 solid innings so far tonight. But it's ball 4 to Lenny Harris to begin the bottom of the 8th inning. Alrighty, we told you about the big day tomorrow in the NFL here on Fox. Tampa Bay goes to Washington. The Eagles visit the surprising Dallas Cowboys. It'll be the Giants and the New England Patriots, the Bears and the Saints, the Panthers and the Colts, unbeatens, locking up in that one. It all begins at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, only on Fox. All right, Steve Lyons, let's have it. Tampa Bay at Washington. Who do you like?
Go with the Bucks. Defense will shut down the offense.
The Eagles against Bill Parcells and the Dallas Cowboys in Big D.
Not even a question. The Eagles will beat Bill Parcells. Period.
Wow. Okay, so do you like the Eagles?
I got the Eagles. I got the Patriots. I got the Colts. Battle of the unbeatens right there. And the Bears and Saints, geez, flip a coin. Neither one of them are any good. Go with the Saints down in New Orleans. Go visit the French Quarter. Get there a day or two early. Have a good time. And put your money on the Saints.
Al, you want to weigh in on any of those games? Or
what's the point spread?
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Only friendly wagering going on up here.
1-1 to Juan Pierre. Fouled out of play. Now, you grew up in New Jersey. Did you grow up a Giants fan or a Jets fan?
Giants.
Okay, so you like the Giants and maybe to win tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So Psycho, he's going against you.
Yeah. What else is new?
Leadoff man aboard against Clement with Farnsworth continuing to throw, and now apparently he's ready down there if they need him. Kyle taking a momentary breather, and now he'll get back at it. The Marlins hit the ball very hard off Clement last night. Or Farnsworth, I beg your pardon. He allowed a run in 1 inning of work. Rounded down to third. Ramirez gets the out. They won't double up Pierre. So the Marlins 5 outs away from falling behind 3-1 in this best-of-7 series. We look ahead to Game 5. That'll be here on Fox, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Carlos Zambrano against Josh Beckett, the Game 1 matchup. That was the only Marlin win in the series, and neither starting pitcher threw the ball all that well. Beckett had the terrible first inning, gave up 4 of those 6 runs in the first.
I see it much better than that score, and I think both of those starting pitchers are going to be completely different. I see it a very low-scoring game.
I think Beckett had a great opportunity to learn from his mistakes in that game. Have a chance to throw much better second time around. Certainly settled down.
And unless this one changes dramatically, of course, Carlos Zambrano will get the ball tomorrow afternoon with a chance to send the Cubs to their first World Series since 1945. Oh. You don't think Chicago will be jumping tomorrow, do you? Slap foul. But again, this one not in the books yet. I mean, it looks good. It's a 6-run lead. You're in the bottom of the 8th inning. But it's not over. The Marlins have only been to the postseason twice. And should they lose this game, tomorrow would be just the second time they have faced an elimination game in any postseason series. And of course, the other time was that 1997 World Series Game 7. Result, world champions.
Kind of nice when you look at your history and you've only been in the postseason twice, and the time you were there before, you won it all.
Yep. Of course, this is only the Cubs' 3rd trip to the postseason since they were in that 1945 World Series. LCS lost to San Diego in 1984. 89, the Giants. I beg your pardon, this is their 4th. They were there in 98 when they were swept by Atlanta in the division series.
Hey, look at the teams that are in the playoffs. You can certainly understand the history and the general interest in the teams like the Chicago Cubs and the Red Sox. Long-suffering fans. Neither team won a championship forever. And then you have teams like the Florida Marlins, a relatively new franchise. They have a world championship under the belt. The Arizona Diamondbacks, fastest ever to win a world championship. So Cubs and Red Sox fans have been sitting around saying, why not us, for a long, long time.
Castillo retired on the comebacker to Clement. How long has it been? Well, there you have it. 1908, the last time the Cubs won the World Series. Their crosstown rivals, the White Sox, haven't won it since 1917. Babe Ruth won 2 games as a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox in 1918. You know the rest of the story.
No, not Nets.
Matt Clement comes back to where he once pitched and turns in an excellent effort tonight.
It began last summer.
He's not a criminal mastermind. He's a kid who has nowhere to go.
It became a sensation.
We want you to be a part of the family.
This is supposed to be a community that welcomes outsiders.
We're from different worlds. That's not true.
Where it's going,
I would never do anything to hurt Marissa.
is anyone's guess.
You're not going to get the chance because you're never going to see her again.
You're sending me to a mental institution.
On October 29th, the OC is back on a new night.
We're always one mistake away from someone taking you from us.
With all new episodes.
I'm not afraid of your mom.
Well, I am.
The OC returns on a new night. Wednesday, October 29th on Fox.
I just want to run away. I do. I'd go anywhere with you.
His father is the district attorney.
He wants to ruin our family. He wants to destroy my business.
Can you imagine what will happen if the press gets a hold of this? They would ruin me. They would ruin you.
Why does it matter who our parents are?
You tell your son to keep his filthy hands off my daughter.
Every politician needs a target.
You cannot see this girl again ever.
The rich man's dead.
What have I done?
I love you.
I love you too.
A new series premieres Monday, October 20th on Fox.
It's a championship series doubleheader. Game 5 of the NLCS and Game 4 of the ALCS tomorrow on Fox.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
We have partnered with the Saturn Lightship to bring you aerial coverage of tonight's game. We hope you're enjoying this unique look from high above Pro Players Stadium from the Saturn Lightship. Thousands of Cub fans here in South Florida for this series applauding the effort of Matt Clement.
I think they were playing a home game.
Clement only allowed 5 hits. 3 of them came in 1 inning. That was in the 5th when the Marlins scored their only 2 runs of the game. Now Farnsworth. Fastball at 98, swung on and missed.
Yeah, he's just getting loose. 98. And those postseason numbers for Kyle Farnsworth.
Dusty told us before the game today he just didn't like the swings the Marlins were getting against Farnsworth last night in that tightly played game. He struck out Derek Lee to end the 7th inning. Began the next inning, allowed a single to Cabrera. A bunt moved him over. Conine hit a rocket into center field, and Dusty said, I'm going to get it. He brought in Borowski, who allowed a single to Todd Hollingsworth in that 8th inning to knock in a run. Fair ball into the corner. This will knock in a run. Pierre scores on a double by Pudge Rodriguez. His 13th RBI of the postseason, 7th in this LCS.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but geez, he just keeps hurting you on the ball's outer half. I believe this is going to be a breaking ball, but he's not going to get it far enough away. Look at it. Hangs right out over the middle of the plate. Not really the middle of the plate, but right where Pudge likes it. Middle away. He just hits a bullet into right field once again. Gosh, he can hit the ball the other way.
That number charged to Clement, so close the books on him. 7 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs. Ball 1 low and away to Derek Lee, 0 for 2. 3 of 17 in the series.
This is a guy that the Florida Marlins really need to get on track. This is a guy that, 32 homers, 92 RBIs, 31 homers, and 92 RBIs on the season. It's a lot of production out of a guy that has done no damage in this playoff series.
Well, you're down 8-3. Farnsworth has fallen behind a couple of hitters in a row here. 2-0 now. He's gone to Lee. I know he can hit the ball out of the ballpark, but you're down 5. Take a strike here?
Yep. Unless he really zones him in inner half. Go middle.
Lines it to the second baseman. That'll end the inning. Hit it hard right at Gresolano. 1 run in the inning. We had 4 tonight. Cubs lead by 5.
With AOL pop-up controls, you can block unwanted web pop-up ads with a single click. Life needs less clutter. Don't you think?
Oh, there's nothing quite like Dunkin' Donuts' delicious coffee. The finest beans, chosen for consistent flavor, with no compromises. Carefully roasted just long enough for the perfect taste. Brewed by the original 1950 recipe, every cup is smooth, rich, and mild.
Look
look at this beautiful bracelet. Get your credit cards out right now. It's $39.95. Don't miss out on this. They're telling me right now we have less than a dozen. Oh my goodness, we're down to our last 5. Ladies, get in the...
Welcome to my first home. Hi, I'm Jennifer, and today we're decorating Mario and Laura's new home. Let's check it out.
Life is full of choices. Using credit wisely is the first step toward owning a home. Call the Fannie Mae Foundation for a free guide to understanding your credit and a list of lenders and credit counselors.
Introducing the new full-size 305 horsepower Nissan Pathfinder Armada. It's got room for 8 people and all their stuff. It's a full-size SUV for your full-size adventures.
Now through Monday, Zales is having a diamond sale with savings up to 60% and more throughout the entire store. Like this 8-carat bracelet, just $7.99. Our lowest price ever. Quantities are limited at Zales, the diamond store.
Well, the Cub fans 3 outs away from celebrating a Game 4 win and a 3-1 lead in this National League Championship Series. It's 8-3 Chicago.
Hey, that sign. We can relax until 2098. How you doing there?
It's a clever twist.
Everybody, all those Cub fans just hoping to win one in their lifetime.
You know, isn't it amazing? You really try to break it down in the most simplistic way, and you think to yourself, you know, maybe you have a little boy or a little girl, and you know they're born in 1912, and here the Cubs, year after year back in those days, they were going to World Series and winning National League pennants. Here they would be 91 years later, still waiting for their team to win a World Series.
It's like Eric Carroll said, we went to the playoffs the first year I was with the Dodgers early in my career, and I just figured we'd go every year. Well, guess what? Now towards the end of his career, he's having the time of his life with the Cubs this season.
Ramirez having the time of his life with the Cubs this season.
Granny in the first. 7th inning, just pulverized a fastball. 6 RBIs on the day and looking for more.
If you weren't with us earlier, the League Championship Series record for most RBIs in a game, Will Clark in '89 against the Cubs. Ramirez has matched it here tonight. He's gone on strikes.
Get back to the Cubs. To think the Marlins have been in existence for 10 years. They already have a World Championship after 5, and they're 3 wins away from going to their 2nd World Series. And we're talking about 100 years. This guy was going to wait till 2098. It's pretty remarkable what the Marlins have done.
Swing and a miss to Eric Carroll.
Cub fans partying too.
You know any other great thing about the Cub fans, and I'm not going to speak for fans in other cities that it got ugly today in Boston. They have great fans, Yankees, and all around baseball. There are great fans for every team. Great play by Castillo, and he throws out Karras. 2 away in the inning. But you know, the Cub fans, Steve, and you spent a lot of time in Chicago, they never really get belligerent. You played as a visiting player, Al, at Wrigley Field, and you can say, well, yeah, they're not going to get belligerent. Heck, they never win anything. But, you know, they never get nasty. It doesn't seem like they ever get mean. They're not beating up on opposing players. There was that one incident, Steve, you brought up earlier last year. But as a whole, they're really a fun group of people to be around.
Well, I don't know if you mentioned it on air or off, just us talking, but you were talking about it's the Midwest. And nothing against the East. I'm from New Jersey, but it's a whole different lifestyle and mindset. And I know a lot of players love going into St. Louis with the same mentality what you're talking about.
Great fans there as well. Cleveland.
My old hometown, Cincinnati, great baseball town.
There's the Clement beard working.
Chia Pet.
Chia Chin.
Chia Chin.
Swing and a miss. You know, if you're looking as far as just pure numbers are concerned, you know, attendance-wise, 4 of the top 7 drawing teams in the major leagues are all out west. The Dodgers in Seattle, Arizona, and San Francisco. Swing and a miss, and that'll end the inning. So we go to the bottom half of the night. Cubs 8, Marlins 3.
It's called the Crypt. It's where every unnatural death in the city comes to rest. Bottom line, most of these people shouldn't be dead yet.
She doesn't know who they are.
First one, congratulations, you know, but the all not as pretty as Rebecca Morgan.
Or how they got there.
You're leaving? Because Davis said my first night I wouldn't be alone.
You won't be. I have 32 friends right next door.
But she's about to find out.
Very funny. Hazing the new girl.
That she has the power to save them.
Help me.
Now she'll relive the last day of their life for a chance to change their fate.
You're gonna die today, Rebecca. What? What did you just say? Me, of all people, why do they come to me?
Maybe because they know that you'll listen. Rebecca, I came here to help you.
No, he didn't. He came here to kill you.
Eliza Dushku has found her calling. True Calling. Thursday, October 30th on Fox.
When you're smiling, when you're smiling, when you're smiling, when you're smiling, and the whole world smiles with you. And when you're laughing, oh, you're laughing, when the sun comes shining through, keep on smiling, and the whole world smiles with you.
Laugh Out Loud Sunday premieres November 2nd on Fox.
It's a championship series doubleheader. Game 5 of the NLCS and Game 4 of the ALCS tomorrow on Fox.
Marlins come to bat needing 5 to tie, 6 to win. Bottom half of a 9th inning. Kyle Farnsworth still on the mound for Chicago. And Dontrell Willis still rooting his team on.
Those guys just chilling. Pryor and Wood done their job in the first go-round for them. Clement, stellar outing. Rick Helling.
Cabrera, Lowell, and Conine against Farnsworth. Ball 1 low and away. Game 1 went 11 innings with the Marlins coming up with a 9-8 win at Wrigley Field. The Cubs in Game 2 jumped all over Brad Penny en route to a 12-3 win. The scene shifted here to South Florida, and again we went 11 innings. With the Cubs this time coming away with a 1-run win. And I'm sure watching that bottom half of the 11th inning last night had a lot of the Cub fans saying, there's a curse of the Billy Goat back. Throw to first, out at first. Nice play by Grzelcyk. Who could forget that 11th inning? It looked like the curse might continue. Luis Castillo reached on strike 3. It turned into a wild pitch. Castillo got to second on a bobble by Mike Remlinger. But maybe the curse reversed when Ramirez bobbled the grounder. But they got Castillo in a rundown, tagged him out for the third and final out of the game.
I think a lot of people really looked down on Castillo on that play too, like he was made a bad play there. Talking to a lot of the guys on the field today, and my own feeling was we would have all got caught in the exact same position. You're expecting Ramirez to field that ball and throw on to first, and if you're the runner on second base, you're trying to inch your way towards third in hopes that if he throws the ball away, you can score. It's your only hope to get back in that game. Not expecting for Ramirez just to clank that ball and have it drop right at his feet, and now you're stuck.
Late local news, except for those of you out west, is coming up next. Swung on and fouled away. Cubs 2 outs away from taking a 3-1 lead. Of course, the league championship series went to a 7-game format, a best-of-7-game format in 1985.
The guys with a Kerry Wood jersey caught it behind home plate after it bounced off of Miller's face mask, came all the way into the stands.
Low gone swinging. Coordinating producer of Major League Baseball on Fox is Michael Weissman. Tonight's game produced by Jeff Gowan, directed by Jim Lynch. Our associate producer is Carol Langley McDermott. The associate director, Larry Lancaster. Our broadcast associate, Kevin Dresser. Thanks also to our technical producer from Chicago, Craig Marlowe. The pregame show produced by Gary Lang, directed by Bob Levy. The coordinating producer, Scott Ackerson. Our studio technical supervisor, Mr. Jack Simmons. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. The Chicago Cubs have taken a 3-1 lead in this National League Championship Series. They are one more win away in this series from advancing to the World Series, where they have not been since 1945. And a big-time effort by Matt Clement here tonight.
He was definitely on. The ball was moving on both sides. He had sinking fastball going in, the slider away. His ball was never straight. He really didn't throw any pitches that were straight. Effectively wild in the zone.
This game was about relaxation. Clement was able to relax and regroup and pitch the way he had earlier in the season. And Dontrell Willis was unable to do that, to harness his emotions and keep the ball in the strike zone.
Tomorrow's matchup will be Carlos Zambrano for the Chicago Cubs in a rematch of Game 1 up against Josh Beckett of the Florida Marlins. Well, they called it destiny in San Francisco back in 1997. When he led the San Francisco Giants into the playoffs, losing to the Marlins in 3 games in the division series. They're believing in that destiny now in Chicago. Let's go downstairs and join Josh Lewin.
Are you with Aramis Ramirez? 6 runs batted in on 2 home runs. And Aramis, you saw 19 pitches in those first 2 at-bats. The grand slam, tell me about that at-bat if you would.
Well, it was a bases loaded with 1 out. I don't want to strike out in that situation. I just want to put the ball in play and at least get one run in, and it happened that he left a pitch right down the middle of the plate and make a pretty good swing on it.
Huge way for guys to start the game, obviously. For you coming from the Pirates, I know it was tough for you to leave that organization. How cool is it to be a part of this now, though?
Well, I spent a lot of time with the Pirates. I appreciate everything they did for me, but right now it's time to move on and hopefully I stay here for a long time. This is exciting. It's my first time in the playoff, and like I say, hopefully I stay here for a long time.
Aramis, congratulations.
Thank you.
97th third baseman since Ron Santo departed. Maybe this one's a keeper, guys. We go back upstairs.
We thank Josh Lewin. The D-Train couldn't get on track tonight. And the Marlins now on the brink of elimination. The Cubs on the brink of history. For more information on tonight's game and for the latest information on Major League Baseball, go to foxsports.com. For Steve Lyons, Al Leiter, Josh Lewin, and our entire crew, I'm Thom Brennaman, saying so long from Miami. Jeannie Salasco and Kevin Kennedy will be along shortly from Los Angeles with the latest news on that Yankees-Red Sox fracas at Fenway Park. tomorrow, Game 5. We look forward to seeing you then.
When Ron Howard turned his talents to television, we knew his show would be special.
Securities and Exchange Commission.
They have boats? But we never imagined this. It's the fall's best new sitcom. Hilarious. The one, the only must-see sitcom. The funniest new comedy. Usually critics' quotes are only good for one thing.
Shredder? No. Save it. Save it. Shredder.
But ignoring these would be criminal.
I'm having the time of my life.
Hey, T-Bone. Arrested Development. Series premiere Sunday, November 2nd on Fox.
Monday, October 20th, Fox will introduce a real American cowboy to a group of European women.
Oh, he's good looking.
Convince them he's worth $80 million in oil.
I'm sure I'm gonna like this lifestyle.
And invite them to win his heart.
He's rich. He's filthy rich.
Does anyone know how to say sucker in French?
The money, baby.
The next Joe Millionaire. Diplomats are standing by. Premieres Monday, October 20th on Fox.
I'm Robin Robinson.
And I'm Mark Sapelsa. You saw it, another slugfest for the Cubs, bringing them to the brink of the World Series.
And a huge fight at Fenway, and it's former Cubs coach Don Zimmer who ends up on the ground. Fox News is just moments away.
Ron Santo. All Chicagoans admire him for his brilliant career at third base and as today's broadcast voice of the Cubs. No wonder he always draws a crowd.
Can I have your autograph?
What other reason could there be?
They like my Chevy.
Use bonus cash and get $4,000 total cash back on every 2003 Trailblazer or get 0 APR for 72 months. Hurry, bonus cash ends October 20th.
Mr. Santo, can I drive your Chevy?
No. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealer.
Well, look who it is. Oh, yeah. I see you. Come on, baby. That's it. Speed up. Yeah, you come to Papa. You come right here. Give me some lip service. Yeah, that's right, baby. Plant one right here. Whoa, not so fast. Whoa, what a kisser.
The irresistible Accord from Honda.
Ah, playing hard to get, are you?
Allergies can strike anywhere, anytime.
That's why I take Clarinex.
Clarinex helps block histamine. Get 24-hour non-drowsy allergy relief from pets, pollen, mold, and dust. Side effects are similar to sugar pill, including sore throat, dry mouth, and fatigue. Clarinex. Talk to your doctor about the anywhere, anytime allergy relief of Clarinex.
My brothers and I are good people to do business with.
What?
Okay, we'll try that again. That's Smith. With an E.
Walter E. Smith, you dream it, we build it.
Crew, thank you. A long day. Good job.
Well, I was vacuuming at home one weekend with what I thought was a pretty good machine. And I was really amazed by the lousy suction. So I took the machine apart and discovered the problem. A small amount of dust, and the bags and filters were hopelessly clogged. So I thought I'd try and design something better. And a few thousand prototypes later, I had it. No bags, no clogged up filters, and the first vacuum that doesn't lose suction.
This Sunday, it's all Bears on Fox Chicago.
Gear up for the most in-depth coverage of the Bears. This Sunday, only on Fox. Sports with Corey McFerrin on Fox News Chicago.
I'm David Navarro.
And I'm Tamron Hall. Monday morning at 7, Mancow live on his sexier, racier version of the Rocky Horror Show.
Plus an inside look at the new Joe Millionaire Monday.
Live from Chicago, this is Fox News Postgame.
Let's get right to it. The Chicago Cubs now just one win away from their first World Series appearance in 58 years. You know the rest of the history. They used big hitting, great pitching once again to beat the Florida Marlins tonight, 8-3. Cubs now 3-1 in the NLCS. What, us worry?
Okay, unbelievable.
An easy one. Good evening. I'm Mark Sapelsi in for Walter Jacobson.
And I'm Robin Robinson. Let's head up to Corey McFerrin, who is live, and I'm sure all the way live at Pro Player Stadium in Miami. Corey.
Unbelievable. The crowd here, several thousand still on hand, cheering their heroes, the Cubs, who get it done tonight. As you saw right here on Fox, the final score 8-3, and you're right. One win away from that trip to the World Series, their first since 1945. The main hero today sitting right next to me. Let's say hello to Aramis Ramirez. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Something like a dream, I would guess, for you tonight.
Well, you know, especially coming over from the team, you know, by this time I was supposed to be gone, and here I am, 1 win away from the World Series.
Sometimes do you wonder, do you shake your head and imagine what might, you know, how this happened to you and how lucky you are to be here?
Well, you know, I don't know how that happened. You know, I thought I was going to spend my whole career in the Pirates, but you know, this is baseball, this is business, and here I am, you know, with the Cubs, and hopefully I stay here the rest of my career.
That first inning to hit that ball, to drive in 3 or drive in 4 with the grand slam. Can you talk to us about that at bat? Did you know it was gone right away? I had to worry about it going foul, I would think, at first.
Well, I know it was a home run, but I don't know if it was going to stay fair or foul. You know, I kind of stay there, and about that, but, you know, that's why now a veces lo digo once I count the situation. You know, I just want to put the ball in play and at least get 1 run in.
Then you get the RBI single, and the 7th inning you come back with another shot. Did you know you tied the all-time league championship series records with 6 RBIs tonight? Will Clark of the Giants did, ironically, against the Chicago Cubs back in '89. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know about that. I just noticed, and it's a pretty honor to be with a guy like Will Clark and that kind of statistics.
Aramis, 1 win to go. Will you clinch tomorrow night here?
Hopefully, you know, this is our wish tomorrow, and if not, you know, we do it in Chicago and in front of our home fans.
All right. Aramis, congratulations. Nice work tonight.
Thank you.
Aramis Ramirez, third baseman for the Chicago Cubs. All he does is drive in 6 to tie an all-time league championship series mark as the Cubs win 8-3. Let's bring in Matt Clement right now. And Matt, first of all, what about this crowd here tonight?
I mean, they're awesome. It's you know, getting 4 in the first kind of made them a little more vocal, right? And you know, kind of weeded out the Marlins fans a little bit. And then, you know, it is a tremendous game, and I'm just, you know, thankful to be on the winning end this time.
How determined were you tonight after unsuccessfully locking down the division series in Game 4 against the Braves? Did that provide extra incentive or fuel for you tonight?
You know, I'm determined every time I go out there. I think I learned. I was a little extra hyped up that first game, and, you know, I let it get the best of me maybe, and maybe I didn't, because it really wasn't as bad as I, you know, could have been that first game. But, you know, I just tried to relax and go out and do my job.
Can you explain to us what it means to take the hill with a 4-run advantage in the first inning?
Any runs is great in the first, and, you know, you got to credit Kenny and the boys for getting the walks, and for Aramis for hitting the 2 big home runs, and that makes it a lot easier. But tonight I was just saying it's nothing, and trying to bear down and do the job.
I know a lot's been made of it. The trade, Dontrell Willis for you and Alfonseca last year, and for a while this season people said, oh man, Willis, what a star, all-star game, everything else, that was a bad trade. Well, tonight you beat him head-to-head. I'm sure that's not the focus, but there has to be some joy in that.
You know, Dontrell's a great talent, and for me to say anything bad about him would be stupid, because what he's done for Florida baseball has been unbelievable, and what he's done coming on the scene has been great, and he happened to have a bad one tonight. We all have bad ones, and I think he's going to be all right, you know, and you know, for me, I don't have any extra motivation playing against him. You know, I have been hearing about the trade all year, but, you know, I answer the man upstairs and my family, and that's it, and I'm not worrying about what happens there.
Tell me something, the clubhouse right now, I don't know if you've been inside yet, but right now you guys are flying high, and you got to talk about this offense, too. 33 runs in these 4 games, which is an unbelievable output that obviously makes pitching that much easier.
You know, they're hot, and hopefully they stay hot for another week or 2, and it's made things a lot easier. The clubhouse is, I'm sure we're happy. You're happy anytime you get wins in the playoffs. And, I just want to say if Ron Santos watching, man, I wish you were here because, from day one, when I got traded there, he's been a supporter of me. And we've done a lot of talking, and we miss him. I've been praying for him, and I hope everything works out.
Well said, Matt. Appreciate you stopping by. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Matt Clement, the winner tonight. He goes 7 2/3, gives up 5 hits and 3 runs as the Cubs are 1 win away from the World Series. Right now, let's throw it to Dane Placco, who's hanging out with the fans. Dane.
Corey, these fans can taste it. They can smell it. They can feel it. The Cubs 1 win away from their first National League pennant since 1945. I can't believe I'm saying it. 1945, I wasn't around for that one. Most of these folks were not around for that one. Take a look. It is utter pandemonium here. Hundreds of Cubs fans remaining. There were thousands here for the game, many more than the night before. It may have taken these Cubs fans an extra day to get here down to southern Florida, but for them it was well worth the wait.
When Aramis Ramirez connected for a Cubs grand slam in the first inning, the explosion of Cubs fans in Pro Players Stadium was deafening.
The crowd noise much more intense. I mean, the home run by Ramirez, and it sounded like Wrigley Field.
Indeed, while last night Cubs fans were clearly outnumbered, tonight was a different story.
It's pretty impressive. I think there's actually more Cub fans tonight than last night.
You think so?
The rumor is that they couldn't get flights yesterday, but they all found a way to make it here tonight.
Good crowd here. A lot of Cubs here. Of course, it didn't hurt that the Cubs piled on so many early runs, taking the Marlins fans out of the game almost before it had begun.
It's great so far.
You got to say that.
Let it keep going.
And the Cubs did keep it going, led by a strong performance from starting pitcher Matt Clement, whose curious facial hair again found plenty of admirers among the Cubs fans in the crowd.
Oh, it's incredible. The game
it's a nation on the move.
It's the only game to come to down here. The weather's great. The park is great. It's a lot of fun. This is a great thing.
It's the Cubs spirit. Do anything to see the Cubs.
Does it bother you to hear all these Cubs fans making all this noise?
Just their silly accents. I wish they'd go home in the cold.
Well, look who got the last laugh. Go home in the cold. I'm telling you, we're not worrying about winter here. These Cubs fans are psyched. Let's talk to a couple of them. What do you think about tonight?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Ramirez and the pitcher played out of their mind today. Unbelievable.
You enjoyed this one?
Yeah.
Yeah? What was going through your mind when they came down to the last out there?
Cubs
number one. Now, we talked to Jennifer. You're 7 years old. We talked to you last night. She's become something of our Cubs expert. Jennifer, what was going through your mind tonight?
Well, I was so thrilled that the Cubs were going to win, and as I said yesterday, that my lucky monkey was going to work. It did.
It's your lucky monkey that's doing it right here. Yep. Look at that. Isn't that amazing?
Mr.
Thanks, Jennifer, and you.
I've been to every Cubs game in the postseason so far, and we're going all the way, baby. We're going all the way.
All right, there you have it, Cubs fans. I don't need to tell you they're a little bit excited right now. One more win, Corey, the National League pennant. I don't know how you could get any more excited than this. We're going to have, we need doctors. We need a team doctor for these fans.
Dane, thanks. The kid in the red cap's a regular on our show. Welcome back. Steve Lyons alongside right now. Steve, obviously quite a night for the Cubs. Matt Clement pitched wonderfully, but I think the main story of tonight's game and the series in general, the Cubs offense, the 33 runs they've produced, all-time home run record for a series with 10 home runs for the Cubs now in 4 games. It's been remarkable.
Yeah, and I'm not a numbers guy. You can make them lie any way you want, but bottom line, you can't ignore the numbers that the Cubs have put up in this series so far. They've hit better than 320. They're a 260 team on the regular season. The 10 home runs. They're scoring 8 runs a game. They're just, the bats have woke up. You got to give a lot of credit to the Cubs offense, but you also got to understand that they have taken this pitching staff of the Marlins totally out of the game. They're not throwing strikes. They're afraid to throw strikes. There's a lot of power in that lineup, but the 10 home runs, that's a record as well. It's unbelievable the way they're swinging the bats.
And part of the story is the first inning success. Every single game they get out to a lead. They've outscored the Marlins 11-0 in the first inning.
Especially when you come on the road, you'd like to think that you're taking the crowd out of the game when you score that many runs, but you're not because there's so many Cub fans down here.
They're here.
You're getting the the Cub fans into the game when you score those runs. Ramirez, the big grand slam in the first inning. I mean, you look at Willis came out. I believe Willis only gave up 1 or 2 hits. He just walked too many guys. He walked 5 guys during the time that he was in the game, but 4 of those runs scored. 4 of the guys that he walked scored. That really hurts you as a team. You give up 4 in the first, you're fighting an uphill battle all the way along. When Clement really relaxed, and when he's relaxed, he pitches great.
You're right. Dontrell with 5 walks, which is a career high for him today. But let's talk about Matt. We had him on here a moment ago. But he was as cool and as calm and as poised. Of course, he's always relaxed out there. But you can be a lot more relaxed when you walk to the hill up 4-0.
Absolutely, and he pitches so much better when he's relaxed. He always sort of has that attitude. He's the kind of guy that you just hope good things happen to. He's got electric stuff, and, someday he will be an ace of a staff because he has that kind of stuff. He should win 20 games before his career's over in one season, maybe multiple times. When his sinker's working, when his slider's going, he's the kind of guy that never throws the ball straight. Talk about relaxed. We showed him in between innings one time. I thought he was asleep. He was slapped out back there. Wake him up. He's got to go back out there.
I saw that. Let me ask you something. Tomorrow night, the Cubs can clinch this thing, obviously, and they want to clinch and get it done as fast as they can. But is there at all a negative to that when the series starts next Saturday?
Well, ask these people up here if there's a negative to having them clinch down here. Yeah, in a perfect world, you would like to see the Cubs clinch at home in Chicago. And the fact is, if you clinch here early, you have a lot of time off before that next series starts. That's a bad thing in baseball. There's no injuries on this team right now. Everybody's, relatively healthy. During the regular season, usually guys get a day off about every 20 days, and you're begging for that day off. But when it comes, once you get the day off, you feel like you haven't been at the ballpark for 3 weeks when you come back. So from now or from tomorrow night until Saturday, that's too long.
Yeah. But they'll take what they get, obviously. Let's take a look at the highlights in case you missed some of this game down here in Miami tonight. Let's begin. And, of course, Cubs fans, not hard to spot, especially the neon man who is everywhere tonight. As usual, the quick start, we talked about it, base loaded in the first. Here's Aramis Ramirez. Only question, fair or foul, and it will be fair. The grand slam Cubs with the early strike. Meantime, here's Clement mowing him down in the second. Punches out Jeff Conine to end the inning. To the 7th we go. Cubs in control, up 7-2. You can make it 8-2. Ramirez does it again. 2 homers, 6 ribbies. Unbelievable. Cubs win it 8-3. Final out. Kyle Farnsworth is on for Clement. And that's it. Game over. 8-3 Cubs as they take the 3-1 lead. Don't forget, Game 5 is tomorrow. It's an afternoon game tomorrow. Starting time, Steve, is 3:30. And if they clinch, we'll be here for you. And, of course, the full story after the game. Steve Lyons, the Cubs right now, the way they're going and the way this thing sets up, I mean, you got to feel good about the way the team has come together. Obviously, the great September, you look back to how this thing has evolved, that 19-8 record in September, and they haven't lost the momentum at all.
Well, when you look at the Cubs, you look at a team that's very confident right now. They're really happy with what's going on, especially the last month of the season, right on into the playoffs. And when you talk about the Florida Marlins, they were the looser team. They were the team that actually won more games during the regular season than the Cubs, and they were also the team that played in a tougher division, but that's reversed now. That team's reeling a little bit right now, and the Cubs walk onto the field with a little bit more swagger.
First time the Cubs have won 3 straight postseason games since 1907.
A lot of firsts.
When they swept the Tigers to win the World Series. We're going to take a break right now. Steve Lyons, thanks very much.
All right,
Steve Lyons, Fox Sports. Much more to come, including Eric Karros next, live from Pro Players Stadium.